Vegeta, what does the scouter say about their subscriber count?
It's 9,010.
Wait, so you mean...
Yes, Nappa. It's over.
It's over?
It's over 8,000!
What 8? Wait, what?
There is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classification.
I don't care if you've been squabbling over Spidey all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times, the video. I'm your host. The dude who's probably coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that dang shit on my left. Stitch.
It must be winter because we're about to have some freezing cold takes.
On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choke me down on three sports quotas.
I can't believe I'm 40 years old. I'm about to fucking die, y'all. Somebody help me. Somebody help me.
In the middle, we got the oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Spider-Man Broken Home coming out to theater 2022.
And last but not least, returning once again, your boy Blue.
Y'all guys out there eating booty. Can't even eat a vegan burger.
Oh, damn, or the brown side of a banana. All right, let's get into it. Homestead that we got.
All right, listener of the week would be Fall Nish. Thank you very much. Listened a bunch of times.
Thanks, fam.
Really appreciate it. And first in the chat would be my boy Aiden, also known as I gotta go back. It is 5150 HCRX.
That's what's up.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, he is.
All right, old ninja, you usually pour out some type of malt beverage this time of the show for respect.
Respecting, pouring it out for a real one. Peter Fonda pouring out some King Cobra. He's best known for bringing biker culture and counterculture. I guess counterculture is formerly known as the hippie culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are they renaming shit?
I don't fucking know. He passed away on August 16th from lung cancer at the age of 79. He's the father of Bridget Fonda and the brother to Jane Fonda. He's won...
The traitor? The traitor? Jane Fonda?
She's a traitor?
Yeah, Vietnam War stuff.
Oh, he was a part of that. That's the counterculture.
Oh, that's traitorism. That's what that is.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. It's called that's why I changed it.
Oh, that's probably why. Sure.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Just to clarify, I don't know if he was with her though.
Oh no, he wasn't with her. She was with her crew. He was with the Beatles and whatnot. Really quickly.
Oh, okay.
He's won Academy Awards for Easy Rider for Best Original Screenplay. Uly's Gold. He won Academy Award for Best Actor. Back in the day, he partied pretty hard. He was in the 60s. He took LSD regularly. He partied with the Beatles. He got arrested on the Sunset Strip because I guess Sunset Strip had a riot back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. He partied, like I said, with the Beatles, got arrested. So when he got arrested, he sang on a song that was written about the riots by the Buffalo Springfield. And in a Roger Corman film, he had a fake eulogy that got sampled by numerous rock bands. He was an actor, director, action star, real one.
All right. Good shit. Old motherfucker. Well,
yeah,
not that
79.
Old. 79
is up there. But he did a bunch of stuff. I mean,
I'm getting there too, goddammit.
I've been past that. I'm still going. But yeah, he's done so much more in between. I just whittled it down.
I'm assuming he has like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame or something like that.
You know what? Some people don't, and they've been doing it for decades. So
yeah, maybe it's your fan base that has to give a fuck about you or something.
I thought it was the Academy. I have no idea. I don't know how they do it. I mean, shit, if Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck can get one, Peter Fonda definitely should have one.
Batman got one. He's the only superhero with
He just got one,
this year?
Last year?
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Superman has one. He's been had one.
No, I thought Batman was it.
Yeah, I think Batman's the first comic book character.
Was he? I'm pretty sure Superman.
Not first animated character, though, because the Simpsons have a
so does Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Mickey Mouse, too.
Oh, Mickey Mouse, too.
I don't know. Does Superman have a thing?
I would assume that he got one from Christopher Reeve.
Well, that's for a film, though, but I think Batman got one.
Batman as a character got one. Like, Christopher Reeves could be on there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Superman as a whole. He might have gotten it before.
We can use the interwebs. We can check things. We can fact check. All right. While the fact checking is going on, the chat is obviously lit. This is going to be a fucking interesting show. Obviously, we did not have Stitch last week, and we didn't have Blue either, right?
No, I was there.
No, Blue was here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stitch, where was you?
Tripping.
Me and Stitch aren't the same person, goddammit.
Oh.
Remains to be seen.
All y'all look alike.
I think I painted. I had to paint. Yeah, you painted, baby.
Yeah,
painted nursery.
Danger room. Finger painting or what?
I wish it was finger paint. Were you painting with the PS4 controller? It wasn't easier. It's a Microsoft MS Paint.
Did you use extra lead paint?
It was the most fool's errand that I got sent on, and I tried. First of all, everyone knows in here, but those that don't know, I'm colorblind. So I'm sent on this.
I can't hear it. It's all good.
This task on painting or whatever. Which already I'm playing with fucking half deck on this whole fucking thing.
Do you want the room gray?
It was gray, so I'm like, okay, but of course there's a bazillion fucking different kinds of grays.
Oh, God.
I left the so-called swatch at my house because I wasn't paying attention to this random ass gray fucking thing on the kitchen table that I was supposed to bring with me. So I'm like, and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I go in the paint section, they'll have white, black, and I guess maybe gray, but no, they got a mixed gray.
Yeah.
Do all this stuff because I don't fuck around in the paint section because it's pointless for me.
What about even like the gloss, though? You know?
Yeah, like semi-gloss, you got satin, you got full gloss. Eggshell. You got it's eggshell. Yeah, so thankfully the professor helped me out with that because it would have been all fucked up trying to tell how dark it was if I was pushing too. It was a fucking...
Don't you still have your chromas?
Yes, but I'm like inside, so I don't really get all the lighting that I should. So it kind of...
Yeah, they're like kind of sunglasses, so you can't really use them indoor.
So it was an adventure for sure, but thankfully it came out good. Hopefully,
At least you think it's like oh shit, it's all gray.
Yeah. So that's tied up most of my Wednesday last
For
week.
folks that are actually colorblind, I understand that you don't see in just gray.
Yes.
So you're just being a dick.
No, most people probably have to.
What are the colors that you mix up, though?
It's red green. It's I forget the actual. I cannot pronunciate the actual category.
Like the primary color?
It's a for each sort of color. For
Deuteronomy?
Oh no. Close to that.
Deuteramite?
But it affects like shade, like the red green-ish spectrum or whatever. So they blend in and look very, very fucking similar.
All right.
Yeah.
So you just run stop signs then, huh? So you're saying?
I go by shapes. Octagon.
Well, still say stop.
All right, goddammit. Let's jump right the fuck on in. I know that.
So yeah, Superman does not have a star on the Walk of Fame.
All right, so that's only
a terrible superhero.
Only Batman then.
Fuck Superman. Fuck Supes too.
God.
Damn.
Fuck them kids. That's what Homelander was saying. Pass one over to you.
Should have been 5, right?
This one stopped.
Oh, we gotta wait. It needs a minute.
Oh, that's all good. Let's jump.
Tired, huh?
You're the Predator Viagra, man. What the fuck?
Oh, I can't get it out.
Yeah, can't get it out.
Let's jump right in.
Flop, flop.
Stitch, there's big news with Spidey. You want to break this down? And you know, you weren't on here last week. This is all the internet is talking about.
I gotta get my pen just so I can keep track and how much backpedaling you're gonna be doing because you've been dancing and gloating like it's goddamn.
How is Spider-Man news about me suddenly?
First, let's break it down.
Yeah.
Break it down
Yeah,
first. Once we go in, he'll start doing his backflips and whatnot.
Okay, it appears that there is a holdup in contract negotiations going on between Marvel and Sony in terms of the property and the Spider-Man property, which to simplify it was kind of like leased out to Marvel and Disney.
It'll pimped out.
Well, they say lease, but they sold it back in the day. They sold them the rights.
They did.
Yes, but I just want to clarify one quick thing. The maker of the last two Tom Holland movies is technically Sony.
Sony owns the rights.
Yeah, Sony owns the rights.
Yeah.
They worked out a...
Because I see a lot of bullshit online about, the last two Holland movies were actually under Disney, but they technically weren't.
No. But they worked out a deal where their universes were intertwined to simplify it and everything. I guess there was some negotiations going on because I thought it was sort of like there was a set number of films that had already, I guess, had been agreed upon. So it was 5.
Yeah, I think it was 5.
Well,
No, I think
think he was going to appear in 5 movies,
That's
which
what I mean.
included the 2
Avenger
movies. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
and
guess
Civil War.
And I guess that'll be 6, wouldn't it?
That's 5.
No, I guess
Two
we're
Avengers,
done.
Civil War, and then 2 solo Spideys.
Okay,
That's 5.
Okay. So now they're at contract negotiation impasse, and I don't know who put it out there, if it was Sony or Disney, but saying that we can't come to an agreement between what's going on with Spider-Man, and it was put out there, and obviously comic fans are set the internet on fire, and everyone's got a opinion, take, mad, happy, gonna storm Sony rather than Area 51, all kinds of reactions all over the spectrum.
One thing I heard was that I guess Sony, since they own the rights to Spider-Man, they were like, well, we get 100% of the profits that the movie makes, and then Disney or Marvel, they get profit off the toy line that it sells. But I think Marvel was like, hey, we want to go 50-50, and Sony was like, nope. Took Spidey and walked away.
So
that's what I heard.
Both of there's been a lot of speculation on what's going on. There's a report even today that even talks about how the split was supposed to go down. They also talked about how the revenue sharing went down between Sony and Disney, which was kind of interesting to me. So, there's a lot of stuff being said. Sony put out some tweets about what happened and how they felt disappointed on their situation. But, there's a lot of stuff to read in between the lines about what's going on. There's been a lot of stuff, both, reputable sites and posting different information, because this just barely happened apparently. As far as the public knows, apparently these negotiations have been going on for a little over a month.
I don't know why people are mad at Sony.
There we go.
I really don't. I mean, listen, Marvel fucked up. They almost went bankrupt, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. They decided to sell all the rights to a whole bunch of characters, and that was their bad. They had to live with the decisions that they made back in the day. They sold those rights, and for Sony to be like, no, this is a major revenue stream for us, and they don't want to give it back. Honestly, I can't fault Sony for that. They make money, they make billions of dollars, and for them to be like, just give it away, so easily, I get it.
Let me add one little quick thing to that. Sony put up, because again, it was a Sony movie, these last 2 solo Tom Holland movies. Sony put up the money to produce the films as well.
Yes.
Like the $200 million, whatever it is, to produce and market, I believe. And so it seems interesting to me that Disney Marvel came in with negotiations again. If we are to believe what's put out there in the press, of I want half, even though you put up all the money. That's interesting.
This is where I get a little bit confused, because I've been seeing things about also the co-producer, the producing credits and everything, and it seems like there's a lot of, back and forth on who's getting credit for what, if they're being listed as co-producers and et cetera, which is Hollywood stuff that just is over my fucking head, because I don't get what the big deal is with that.
Can I tell you what that is? All that is
my dick is bigger than yours.
Yeah, it's dick measuring. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So
no, hold on. Well, Kevin Feige was the producer of Far From Home.
He is, but he did not get producer fee for either of the MCU Spider-Man films.
What do you mean a producer fee?
He didn't get paid a producer's fee. Producers get paid a lot of money. Instead, what Marvel Studios got was a 5% first dollar deal, while Sony got 95% deal.
That doesn't make any sense. He had to have gotten paid some money. A producer gives money to make a film.
He does, but according to these sources,
I don't give a shit
all
what those
agree.
sources are. None of that shit makes any sense. A producer puts up money to get paid in the long run, right? So for a producer to go into a contract negotiation and be like, listen, I want to take your money but give you nothing back, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So I'm not going to believe that one just on face value.
Sure.
Sounds weird, man.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
but
they'd be like, yo, I want to borrow like $1,000 from you, but I'm never going to pay you back.
Yep.
So the producers, because it's Feige, and then what's it say, Amy Pascal?
Yeah,
but she's no longer with Sony.
Oh, that must be recent though.
I guess she got fired after Sony got hacked. So there were some emails. When Sony got hacked, she got fired after some emails came out that did not paint her in a good light. So Sony Pictures has I believe his name, I have his name right here, Robert or no?
So both these producers are Marvel producers then, or no?
No, it's Sony on
This
this.
is Sony, at least I guess formally.
Hold
That's
on,
news
what
to
the
me.
fuck? Wait, hold on.
We're Wikipediaing on the spot here.
I'm not on Wikipedia.
Okay. Because this is where it starts to get a little bit over my head.
Yeah, this
and
is
I get
a little
confused about like, okay, are these Marvel producers, both of them? I know Feige is tied to Marvel; his contract is through them.
Yep.
And I guess because of their negotiations, Feige was able to produce these Sony films, even though he's a Marvel under the Marvel roster and everything. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. If I'm missing something,
That seems accurate. I mean,
it seems like they want to keep Feige on these, tied with the Spider-Man franchise and tied into to Marvel with him being the producer. But so if that deal between Marvel and Sony is kaput, then so goes Feige.
yeah. One quick thing to add.
Tom
to that.
Rothman, that's the name of the head CEO of Sony Pictures. It was Eamon Pascal.
But Amy Pascal, she's still a producer though.
She's
For
not for
Sony?
Sony.
Well, no, but she's still a producer, so she's still financially tied to Far From Home.
Okay.
Right.
So
Real quickly too. Again, I'm trying to parse through just like everybody else with this news. I think I've read that Tom Holland is still under contract to play the role of Spider-Man in upcoming films.
So apparently he has, what I'm seeing is that he has an option to do it one more time. It would be under Sony and away from the MCU if they move forward and do a non-partnered film.
All right, you found something, Kronos. What'd you find?
yeah, so apparently there was a gender pay gap controversy with Amy Pascal, which I'm actually on her side. So after Pascal left Sony, she was interviewed by Sony Entertainment. She was interviewed about Sony Entertainment's gender pay gap, and had been exposed by the leaks. Tina Brown asked Pascal to explain why the actress did not realize why actors were being paid less than male actors. Pascal said, and I'm quoting, People want to work for less money. I'll pay them less money. I don't call them up and go, can I give you some more? What women have to do is not work for less money. People should know what they're worth and say no.
When you have a good agent negotiating on your behalf, it seems like they may have been able to get more. I don't know who that actress is.
Not even just that. Well, she actually brought up, I think, Charlize Theron a little bit later, but it's just, you don't even need an agent to know your self-worth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you think you're not getting paid enough, then just turn down the role.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm interviewing for a job, this happened to me plenty of times where somebody offered me less than what I wanted, but like, okay, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say yes and get paid less money.
No, I hear you. The only thing I will say, too, is sometimes, just like we were talking about with Tom Holland, there are multiple year deals, and so Tom Holland money is going right now in 2019 is very different than what it was in 2015, 2016 Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But I hear you. I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
that always happens when same thing with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah,
when
she blew up.
Yeah, when people blow up. So
She blew up, then blew out.
Well, no, the main reason why she blew up is because she was complaining that George Clooney got paid more than her, and it's like, no shit.
Well, I mean, like blew up like in terms of her stardom, like the Hunger Games. Yeah.
But even still, like after she blew up after the Hunger Games, she was wondering why she didn't get paid as much as George Clooney. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
You're not
Negotiate.
Like,
Clooney.
why don't I get paid as much as fucking Tim Cook?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
I know last week we were talking about incomes, and George Clooney is the #1 paid actor in Hollywood right now.
And none of us could name like a recent movie of his. But,
Nope.
but let's not get too sidetracked. So, I'm sorry, you wanted to get in here, Old?
I mean, this basically comes down to money, really.
Pretty much.
I mean, what had happened was Sony got their first Spider-Man to $1 billion through Marvel Studios' help. After that, they're like, oh, we appreciate your help, Feige. We know what y'all do. Now we're going to do this on our own. This is basically what this comes down to. That they want to take this is Sony's best-selling franchise.
It's their prize pig.
They have nothing else that has generated this amount of revenue. And with Disney and Feige's help, they got to $1 billion. Now they feel like they can do this on their own. They're going to pull and try to do it on their own. However, there are still reports saying that they are still negotiating what's going on.
Oh, hold on. So they also own 007.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not the highest grossing franchise.
They're best-selling franchise.
the last Skyfall did barely worse than Far From Home. Even though Far From Home is still in theaters, I think, right?
Is there a Bond movie that's done $1 billion?
Yes.
Yeah.
1.1 billion, Skyfall.
Yeah.
Skyfall?
And
Okay.
then Jumanji was almost $1 billion as well.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
So
yeah.
if that's the case, then why is it that 3 weeks ago that Sony Pictures just broke even?
Well, I mean, there could be a lot of
there's a
different
lot of-
reasons. There could be a
of
lot of
course.
different reasons. We don't want to get too sidetracked.
With the help of Far From Home, they broke even, which is not a good look for investors.
Well, okay, so let's back up a little bit, though. I hear where you're coming from in terms of Spider-Man being basically a prize pick or one of the prize picks for Sony Pictures. I totally get that. At the same time, I'm seeing a whole lot of fucking bullshit in terms of people indicating all online that Sony can't do shit with Spider-Man. It's a failure whenever Sony's involved with Spider-Man. Last week we all fucking praised Spider-Verse. I'm also going to tell you the fun fact of the Raimi trilogy that some people are fucking disrespecting and shitting all over. That trilogy combined made more money than the Iron Man trilogy, Captain America trilogy, and the Thor trilogies. So we just have to give some credit to the fact that Sony, independent from Marvel Studios, has had hits.
Wait, so
it
Iron
made
Man
more
3 made $1 billion, though.
It did.
It made more than X-Men, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
the
yeah.
franchise, if not all of them.
But just that Raimi trilogy. Then if you go to ASM, which made less. If you take the first two of ASM, they made more than the first two of Cap, the first two of Thor, the first two of Iron Man. The staples of the fucking MCU.
I don't.
This was phase 1, though, or phase 1 and
Okay,
2.
but I'm talking about first two movies of a reboot, and the first 3 movies, period. And remember, Spider-Man came out in 2000.
I don't think. I mean, yeah, sure. I bet there are people on Twitter that are trying to shit on the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
No,
They're
more than
wrong.
a few.
Well,
It was a lot.
logically, logic sound people know that those were successful
Those are
movies.
blockbusters.
They were successful, but I mean, it's not. They weren't perfect movies.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
No.
The whole basically Spider-Man was a goddamn mutant. That shit kind of pissed me off. But
I totally hear you, and I will say this: neither was the Iron Man trilogy. I love the first one,
Yeah.
the 2 and 3,
Yeah.
Thor trilogy, 1 and 2.
I think
I
think
one was really good.
what people are mainly mad about is that you have something that is red hot, white hot
is.
right now in terms of what's going on with the MCU and with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was red fucking hot. Now, if you're saying you're going to take this out and either reboot it, people are going to be pissed because people are lined up. Well, I mean, as a Spider-Man fan, I'm bidding, just fucking twitching, waiting to see the fucking. What do you what's your face sound like?
I'm the same way. I'm about to call you out on your bullshit.
Yeah, okay. You got to be fair though, legitimately, dude. You can't sit here on this mic, this hot mic, and tell me you would not support a Tom Holland versus Tom Hardy Sony only movie? You telling me you're not going to support a Sony Spider-Man movie?
MCU less.
An MCU less Spider-Man movie? I call bullshit on that.
I've
saying
been
that.
saying that I want to see Electro, Scorpion. I want to see those villains get together, which they've been slowly piecing together. And I said this after my review on Far From Home.
I hear you.
That's what I want. Right now I don't want to see Spider-Man versus Venom. I want to see him take on his 6 rogues and put them on the screen together, which I've said I will patiently wait for, just like how they built up that whole universe to go for the Infinity Gauntlet.
3 times.
Yeah.
They built it up 3 times.
You will be at day 1 opening night if they right now announce, hey, for 2020, end of 2020, or end of 2021, Venom versus Spider.
How would you even successfully make that fucking movie? That's impossible.
Hold on, listen. I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit right now because you're sitting here talking about how that they're gonna possibly reboot it again, how it's gonna be bad. They literally rebooted this movie 3 fucking times in less than 20 goddamn years.
I didn't say
studios.
it was going to be bad. I said I am waiting for Electro, Scorpion, Mysterio, and all of them. I'm waiting. I want to see them finish what they started building.
You said in the beginning that you don't want to see it rebooted again, but you're fine with the other 3 reboots.
You will watch any Spider-Man movie. I don't know why we're equivocating over words.
I will watch it, but I will be extremely.
I'm so mad. Giving you a
You're
money.
gonna watch it opening night. You know this. Come on. And you're going to give it a 10 out of 10.
They're taking something they're building up, which is going to be. I mean, they have a track record of building up a successful fucking movie.
So the fourth time's too much.
With who? With Marvel?
No, the fourth time with Spider-Man is too much for you. The fourth, franchise reboot, that's too much for you.
If that happens.
Not 3.
They haven't.
Four.
They haven't. When have they successfully completed their Spider-Man project?
Answer questions with questions.
What I'm saying is, this is their fourth time. The other 3 didn't bother you at all. They rebooted that shit in the middle of them making an entire storyline, just rebooting it.
Yeah, it bothered me. It bothered me at the end, not knowing them restarting it. I watched it beginning. I'm like, here we go again.
Hold up. Okay, wait. This is not me trolling. I'm trying to get an honest answer out of you. Are you sitting here on this hot mic in front of our live studio audience?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying
you wouldn't support opening night a Spider-Man movie live action regardless.
I will watch it. I will watch it skeptically. I mean, I watch these X-Men movies skeptically as fuck, and I watch every fucking X-Men movie opening night. Doesn't mean I'm fucking enjoying it or fucking rah-rahing about it and say this is gonna be great. I'm gonna fucking watch it opening night. I do that with every fucking X-Men movie, and damn near every time I say this movie sucked. This movie was fucking trash. But I'm an X-Men fan, so I will fucking watch it. I watched Suicide Squad fucking opening night. Said that sucked. I'll probably watch Suicide Squad 2 and say that sucked or whatever. I mean, I'm a comic book fan. I'll watch shit even though I think it'll probably fucking suck.
That's not a comic book fan. That's somebody just throwing their money away.
I mean, just because they put Venom and Spidey in the same film does not guarantee it's going to be good. Just like Justice League, we had all these heroes in one film, and that fell apart.
So they really want me to watch Tom Holland and pretend like nothing I've seen Tom Holland do for the past couple of months exists.
And if this,
how are they going to explain that? That's what I'm curious.
It's the same thing with the other reboots. You're explaining the same exact situation.
You're rebooting with the same character and the same fucking.
Even if they did it
with Andrew,
that would make with the same character. It's completely different if you're using the same fucking actor.
Wouldn't even matter.
If he,
so you even just explain how it doesn't matter. You just still gotta fucking watch.
It just left with a cliffhanger saying with J. Jonah Jameson revealing that Holland is Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden we're just gonna pretend like none of that fucking happened.
It was a stereo.
A year.
No, magic.
He wasn't really dead.
Yeah, so there's Nick Fury.
That's how they end it.
Yeah, Nick Fury didn't exist. None of that shit fucking happened.
They won't be able to.
I mean, they keep doing it because people like you keep fucking paying for all these reboots.
People like me.
Yeah, people like you.
$1 billion worth of people like me.
Yeah, it is literally.
Yeah, the majority. The majority of the fucking
people like you. Oh, this is gonna be a terrible movie. Let's just keep watching it.
Look,
don't compare this with Transformers. Don't compare this with Transformers. We're making it sound like it's a Transformers thing. We're just throwing their money at trash.
Probably will.
I will say. Cold take number 1.
It's not.
Let me look at my picture.
I will say loudly.
Get this man drug tested.
These last 2 had some Transformer-y feel to them.
They didn't have editing problems. Like, that's the main thing with Transformers. I'm not going to go that far, because Transformers had some
and the racist
serious editing problems.
I forgot about the racist robots.
Shit pissed me off.
Balls dangling from fucking...
from...
that was only in one of them, right?
Yeah, that was the second one.
I may have blocked out a few Transformer movies.
The last one was really bad.
Last night was bad.
I can't even realize 2.
Yeah, I don't think.
Actually, bringing him on.
I will say Bumblebee. Bumblebee was probably the best Transformer film.
It was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, but everything else with like balls dangling and like people dying and they disrespected Hot Rod.
Look,
all bad.
People gonna watch Spidey movies.
Oh yeah.
I already told you the first trilogy that people now 20 years later love to shit on and Spider-Man 3 was not the greatest movie. I totally get that. I enjoyed 1 and 2. That trilogy holds up financially against MCU trilogies.
This is all a negotiation.
Yeah, and you're right.
This is never. I think this is never going to fucking play out like it is today. I don't
agree.
think Holland's already fucking supposedly unfollowed Sony fucking films on Instagram, all this other shit. This is all
Jeremy Renner.
We are sports fans and we know how fucking holdouts work and shit like Ziku and shit like that. We know this is exactly what it is, except it's the actor version of it.
And Disney has buku fucking money. I guess one of the reasons why maybe I'm a little bit more on the side of Sony as the underdog here is just because Disney just broke a record and is going to continue to break records after Frozen 2 and Star Wars Episode 9 comes out. They have 6, 7, 8. I lost count how many billion-dollar movies they've had this year.
Oh, this year? Let's see.
Right? Didn't we count last week?
Oh, yeah. You had Captain Marvel. We had Aladdin.
Lion King.
Lion King. That's 4.
Toy Story.
So this begs the
Story
question,
4.
Is Disney going to consider buying Sony?
Oh.
Because that would be a wrap. Because Disney could buy Sony.
It's not that they don't have the capital to do so.
They definitely do.
I don't know if it would be over just this issue. I think they'd have to present more than just this. But
and also,
I don't know.
They just acquired 20th Century Fox.
No, you have to remember the other films that we already named a few of the films that they have rights to. I mean, the 007 films. They also have Men in Black. They have a bunch of other films that are actually their money makers.
Wait, Sony or
I
Disney?
thought Men in Black
ain't no more.
I thought Men in Black was Universal.
No, it was Sony. I looked it up.
So I think one of the big things is that the reason why a lot of people are getting mad is because the way the MCU has been lining up Peter Parker to be the next Tony to fill in his shoes. I mean, if you look at Far From Home, they were really hinting at him becoming the new Tony Starks for that franchise.
From Civil War on, every time Spider-Man's been in there. I mean, that's been their thing.
But now it's like, now what the fuck are they gonna do? Like, I guess is War Machine gonna take over for Tony, or
Okay,
because we got Bucky.
Can we be honest? Can we be fucking honest, man? Nobody, for the most part, really loves War Machine. Like as a solo taking the mantle on.
He's black though. What are you talking about?
Yeah, fuck him.
Hey, that's the whole reason why I was reading Iron Man, because Rhodey took Well, he was in Tony
but
Stark's
from a
suit.
movie standpoint,
he's not.
Come on now.
I mean, unless they pivot and use Sam, but he's not really in that many MCU films.
Yeah,
nobody really rallies behind him.
Nobody's excited. That doesn't get anybody's fucking dick hard. You know?
No.
I mean, I guess they would have to build them up super hard. I mean, maybe this TV show might.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, but I don't see War Machine being a direct replacement. The other thing is, War Machine is kind of like someone who inherits the armor.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere near as charismatic.
But when does he lead the team, though? The only one who's led the team that's in the MCU now has been Captain Marvel.
Yeah, in the later version.
And Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has led the Avengers when they were called the Defenders.
And we're getting Doctor Strange too.
What about the Offenders?
Oh, man.
The Offenders.
What about the Gender Benders?
We'll fucking see. I think Stitch is right in terms of this is fluid. You know, negotiations are still going on probably while we're speaking.
Yeah, didn't the first negotiation between Sony and Marvel supposed to be it's dead or whatever? Didn't that go back and forth?
Yeah, before money talks.
Yeah.
And Disney has a shitload of money.
They do, but I think Sony wants more money out of their property.
And that, eventually,
which is fine.
Why wouldn't they?
I mean, they're already getting 95%. And Disney's like, hey, let's go half and half. And they're like, nope.
Dude,
it's a big jump going from
Sonny cave.
Oh yeah, bad for Spider-Man.
That might happen.
So Sony doesn't have any fucking weight in this negotiation, really.
I mean, they're leveraging. So
they're
leveraging Kevin Feige, saying that he is too busy working on other IPs that they just newly acquired, for him to pay attention to their IP,
the only
which
way
they don't own.
The only way Sony's going to get any true leverage is if, and this is unlikely, at least at this juncture, if they get things like Venom 2 popping off and does like $1 billion, Morbius popping off and doing a blockbuster, and Spider-Verse.
And Carnage as well.
If their Spidey spin-off ancillary movies all do really, really big numbers, then they can go back to the negotiation table and put their fucking dick out and be like, hey, ours is big too.
Disney would kill that by switching up their whole timeline for films and trying to crush them on weekends that they were.
They probably could. A Guardians 3 film could crush us like
They would literally
one of those little ancillary, like for instance, there's talk about a Black Cat Silver Sable film in Sony's docket. If they comes out and they drop Guardians 3 on that,
Oh yeah,
That's going to bury that.
Guardians 3 would mop the floor with that. I totally agree.
And then with Morbius, which is now in post-production, if they drop some, like they dropped Black Panther 2.
Silver Sable, for real?
Yeah, Silver Sable and Black. I mean, it's
Nobody
not.
gives a shit.
That's still in like writing
Disney
stage.
has
so.
all kinds of weapons of mass destruction to drop all over this Sony weekend. That they're like, oh, you want to drop that? Here comes Frozen 2, dropping the same day.
Or Frozen 3 or Black Panther 2.
Yeah, they'll fucking kill them with pettiness, and they got more bombs than Sony does.
I mean, the biggest bomb they could drop is acquiring Sony Pictures. That's the biggest
They don't
thing
have to.
They don't have to, but they could if they wanted to. But I'd like the Oathbreaker was saying, it shouldn't be over Spider-Man. But you never know. It really could be.
But I also don't believe that Sony is incapable of making a hit Spider-Man movie on their own.
I wish we had a timeline of alternate universe where this whole Sony thing plays out.
Yeah,
because it would
interesting.
Well, I would bet money that it wouldn't make more than it would lose. It wouldn't make as much money as Far From Home.
I'll go on record and say it. I mean, I think I said it before that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was the best comic book movie of all time. For me, anyway. It's the best. And it had me questioning why the fuck we're still making live action comic book films, because they seem ridiculous in comparison.
The money.
Yeah, I mean, Into the Spider-Verse didn't even make $400 million versus Far From Home made $1.1 billion.
I think they could though. That's the thing. I think they could. They more than made back their budget.
Yep.
By like a lot. So.
But you also got to take into account that it's about Miles, and a lot of people aren't too familiar with Miles.
Yeah, unless you're a young
Spider-Man.
Here's the thing: it was an intro to Miles. A lot of people had never fucking heard of him. Well, obviously, the comic book fans had.
Yeah.
But it did. Actually, I'll take you back. It did similar money to way back in the day, Batman Begins.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean,
you never know. They could have a sequel that becomes even more of a hit now that people are familiar with Miles as an animated movie star.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's one thing I was going to try to get out is I feel bad for Spider-Man because it feels like he's being pimped out in the film franchise and in real fucking world. We got motherfuckers. You got some money? Here, take Spider-Man. It's like, damn, Spidey giving that ass out all over the place. Damn, can't catch no break.
Like a $2 hoe.
Booty hole all beat up.
Where we going?
So let's move on. Did any of y'all watch Invader Zim into the Fortress?
Fucking forgot to.
God damn it.
No, but speak on it, man. I know you were excited. Go.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'll just speak on it for a minute. I'm not going to give anything away, but I've been waiting for a new Invader Zim anything to come out for like the longest time. We actually had the voice of Gur did like one of our intros for a while.
What was his name?
Forget his fucking name, but I forget his name.
Okay, go ahead.
But
Voices are.
I can look it up, but I forget his name.
I'll look at while you talk.
Yeah. Anyway, Netflix acquired at least a movie right to Invader Zim, so they made a new film called Into the Fortress, and it's I think it's an hour and a half long, but it was still Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was still on there.
Oh wow!
So it was still like a credit on there, which is interesting. So maybe they'll be able to bring it back in some way, shape, or form. But the film was good. I mean, it was really good. It was funny. It was the Invader Zim that you love and remember. You know, it's hilarious. The shit that happens in there is great, and I hope that they make more.
Nice.
Hopefully a lot of people watch it. So if you're listening to this podcast, that's his name. It's Ricky Simmons.
Nice.
Okay. The guy is the voice of Gur.
I was trying to figure out how to say his first name. It's like Rosa Reek.
No, he goes by Ricky Simmons.
Okay.
But yeah, if you loved Invader Zim and you want to see him come back, this is definitely exactly like where they left off. You know, actually it's a couple years, it's a few years or so later, but it's the exact same sense of humor, exact same animation, exact same voices.
Is this the first time they've had movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they had like a special for like Christmas
special,
shit.
yeah.
Okay. But this is like a full feature-length film.
Yeah.
And it was good. I fucking loved it. I was cracking up. It came out on August 16th.
Okay.
So the day before my birthday. I think I watched it that night. So.
My kids are completely unfamiliar with Invader Zim, but it popped up on Netflix, and they'll almost give anything a try. So I think I'm going to watch it with them over the weekend.
It's really funny. Like in the beginning, it's gross because what happens to Dib is hilariously bad.
All right.
So yeah, you'll love it.
It's been years since I've watched the show too, so I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's the same exact sense of humor. So I mean, if you don't like Invader Zim, if you ever watch it before, and you're like, I don't get this, it's stupid. You're never gonna like this shit. But if you ever even laughed at an Invader Zim episode, then you're gonna love the Into the Fortress. It's the same shit.
Good shit. I'm gonna check it out.
Well, since we're kind of I was gonna say, since we're on Netflix's tip, was it? I can't remember if it was Kevin Smith, but somebody's gonna direct the animated He-Man series that's on Netflix.
Kevin Smith developing.
Yeah. So I guess it's just in talks right now. I don't think it's been confirmed, but
Oh no, it's been confirmed.
No, it has been confirmed.
Yeah, he even tweeted it out that he's really excited about doing it.
Did it say it's gonna be an animated series or it's gonna be a movie?
Animated series.
So the same studio that did the She-Ra one, I'm assuming as well, or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope not.
One of our fans was asking if it was going to be like an adult film or an adult show, and I was like, well, you know, He-Man was super gay.
Yeah, it was.
So, yeah, I mean, you literally watch a guy from go like a twink to like a power top show that's super gay. So it'll be like gay porn if it was an adult. So,
Well, the remake they had was actually pretty decent. They made it more kind of, I guess, masculine.
Yeah, masculine, yeah.
He was a little more badass than he was all wearing fucking a pink underwear.
He had a pink shirt too, right?
Yeah, he had a
Sure
pink shirt.
did, yeah. Sticking with Netflix, we finally got Cannon Busters dropped.
Yes.
The anime from LaShawn Thomas. We've been talking about this anime and anticipating it, I want to say, for 2 or 3 years now.
And I kind of forgot that it was coming out
Wow, okay.
for a while. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it dropped. I remember hearing some buzz about it right before it came out, and I was just like, all right. It was not what I expected.
I watched the whole thing, and when I'm not going to spoil, because it sounds like you're still working your way through.
First 3, yeah.
Oh,
I haven't started. I even forgot.
Okay.
I finished. You were watching Two Stitch or no?
No, I haven't checked that out yet.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you-
okay.
How deep are you, Old Ninja?
What?
How deep are you in the
I finished
series?
it.
Okay.
I just finished
Balls deep.
Yeah.
I pulled out already.
First things first, I love the dynamic between Philly and Sam.
Whoa.
Sam fucking works.
How
What do
did
mean,
you?
Whoa.
How did you watch it? Did you watch it the way the default, the Japanese, or did you watch it English?
Actually, I watched it dubbed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize that there was an opportunity to watch it.
Yeah,
in
the
any other
default.
way.
I did not know it was dubbed.
Yeah, the default is Japanese, and
Netflix
then
knows me.
yeah, the default. It says if you look, it says originals Japanese. That's the way I watched it.
Okay.
I watched it subbed.
Either way.
And I guess you were reposting about the actress, and who's one of the characters. She did the dub version.
Okay.
Which I didn't even know. I'm probably gonna go. I know people that watched it subbed and going back to watch it dubbed.
I might do that. I enjoyed it that much. But Sam fucking works all the way through. She's.
Well, hold on, stop. Can you explain the anime first?
Yeah, it's going all over the place. I'm like,
You didn't say it. So
what's it about?
You talked about how Philly and Sam work together. You need to explain who the fuck Sam was.
I didn't even get to that part.
Philly. No, that's what you said in the beginning.
I didn't even get to that. But all right.
The first thing you said was, I love the dynamic between
And then it
Philly
got
and Sam.
cut off. All right. Here's the show. Fine, we'll rewind. It's a outlaw show with an immortal character in an alien world. And you have robots that are sentient, a giant, basically Cadillac that turns into a mech. And you have, it's a fantastic voyage to try to find someone that it was lost to them.
A prince.
Sam. Yeah. I mean, it's basically
Is that a fair-
it's a Western cyberpunk anime. There you go.
Fair enough.
That sums it up.
Okay.
Is it Japanese animation or is it Americanized?
So it's made in Japan.
Okay.
Originally in Japanese, and they obviously did a dub at the same time as well. So you can watch it in either, as Old Ninja was alluding to.
Yeah. That's how I watched it. So, it did not go the way... It was not what I was anticipating, for sure.
But
For
me, it was in a good way. Like, it was not what I was expecting in a good way. Like, this show... So when you talk about, like, diversity, you know me, the word diversity fucking usually bothers me. But in this way, it's like, it's the best sort of diversity. Like, everything... There's so many different types of characters in this show that are like different, not even just like different ethnicities, but like different races, the way they look, the way they interact with people. It's fucking amazing. Like, I really like that aspect of like how everybody was like so different and like well thought out characters. They weren't just kind of like throwaway characters. Even the ones that were sort of throwaway, you feel like they had like a decent backstory to them. You know what I mean? And like where they go and like the different styles of like the different art styles that you see in there, like the different factions, how they look drastically different, was amazing. So like the fact that they were diverse in both like sort of like art direction and character direction were like, it was really neat, you know. And the main character basically being immortal was like pretty dope too. Like the way he deals with that, and Sam being like super naive, you know, about basically everything. I really liked it so far. I'm looking forward to finishing the series.
Yes, it for me, the Sam and Philly stuff just worked like like Ken and Ryu almost. It was a perfect fucking combination in terms of, yes, she is a naive robot, but she's OP as well. And Philly the Kid is OP in his own way with his immortality, and I love the fact that when he dies, the number of his death actually glows and becomes basically a permanent tattoo on his body.
Yeah.
And so they play with that theme over and over again. There's another robot named Casey on here that you learn more and more about her backstory, and there's a lot of fucking lore. I'm not giving anything away. The lore is actually way deeper. That's the biggest surprise to me. The lore caught me, and it seems like it's a bigger world than you initially are aware of.
Well, and like Bessie, like that's another thing with like lore. Like this car mech thing runs on fucking tokens.
Yeah.
So like,
It's like a drivable arcade.
yeah, it's like insane. So you have to start the car, you have to like put in tokens, and like make it go into mech mode, you have to put in 4 tokens. There's like a little controller that's there as well. It's like it's pretty dope.
Yeah, one of my favorite things though is you can tell LaShawn Thomas loves a whole bunch of the same animes that we've grown up with and loved for years and years. You get Naruto references, you get Samurai Champloo, you get Cowboy Bebop, you get JoJo, you get Hunter x Hunter. There's reference, and they're really obvious. You'll get them all over this fucking anime, and when you see them, you're just like, oh, I see what you fucking did there, LaShawn. You know what I mean? It's a wink and a nod to the audience. That's fun.
That's cool.
The main character reminded me of the character from Desert Punk.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, he's very, very.
The
only thing difference is he's not about anime titties, but he is about fucking.
It's a mature anime.
Yeah.
But there's no actual anime titties exposed.
No.
There's just foul language and violence.
Yeah, there is some gore, I will say.
Yeah.
Not overt, but enough.
But dude, the other thing, I don't know how we fucking forgot this. The intro fucking slapped hard as shit.
Yeah, it was
that
weird.
intro is fucking fire. I've never been on an anime on Netflix where I did not skip a single time. Every episode, I was like, no, I'm listening to this again.
Yeah, it was crazy because like the intro song, the female singer,
the intro, we got to give them a shout out.
She sounds like Rihanna at one point. I was like, is this really Riri on this track, on this anime track? Because that would be extra fire.
There's only a few animes where I love watching the intro. I think Champion Shampoo. Fucking Samurai Shampoo.
Yeah, the intro and outro.
That one's those both are dope. Fucking Naruto's. I like how they kept like the seasons would change and they would change as well. But what's the name? It's pretty good too. Demon Slayer.
No, they do it too.
Yeah, they have a pretty good intro.
Yeah, Ruby does the same thing. Every new season, the intro is different and the outro is different.
I want to say almost every anime does that.
Except for Dragon Balls.
Yeah, I mean JoJo does the shit out of that in terms of the intros and outros. But
yeah, I do the same with Ruby. I'd listen to the complete intro.
When it's good, it sets it up. It puts you in the mood to watch another episode.
Candy Busters, like it starts out like a traditional like anime kind of fluffy type thing, and then it slaps with this R&B shit. They're like, what the fuck?
With a choir in the background.
Super slappy. Yeah. Like, let me put this in my ride real quick.
Yeah.
Let me put this in my Bessie.
It's a song by Bradley Deniston and Kevin Beggs, performed by Marty Grimes and BJRNCK.
Okay.
Looks familiar.
They did the damn thing.
Let's see if I can hear it.
The outro is somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah. The outro is a little different. That's it.
Right,
yeah. It just works.
All right,
and then it kicks over right after this horn intro and slaps to this like almost like Destiny's Child type shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
If I can work.
Don't want to get flagged.
And there's also some really good fights. Not giving anything away, but this is in the intro. And this is the first time I've seen it in any anime, there's a woman who's a fighter, and they don't make a big deal out of it, but she's got vitiligo, the skin condition, and she's a great fucking character on there. They don't ever mention it's not a thing, but much like, remember on Dragon Prince when they had the deaf character, and we were just like, oh, that's a great way of showing that.
That's the way you like do diversity correctly. Yeah. It's like you don't overtly point to it. Like, listen, this is a diverse whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like you make it, and then make it the way you want it, and it happens to be diverse, then we all see it.
Yep.
But do it the other way around. It's like you're looking for something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? This way, you just fucking do it, and he did it right.
Yeah.
So
All the way around. And it also seems like, at least from the online reception, unlike Enter the Anime, that Netflix bullshit ass documentary, people seem to like this one. Like the consensus is, well done, LaShawn, well done, Netflix.
I don't know what that shit has right now.
it's probably terrible. Can we move on from Cannon Busters?
Yeah.
Can't talk too much about it.
Wait, so Cannon Busters 12 episodes, so catch it out on Netflix.
Yeah, they're 22 to 23 minute episodes.
All right, so finally the embargo for the show that I want to talk about last week ended. So
On Amazon.
You sure you double checked that contract?
yes, I double checked it. It's on the 15th, all right? Amazon
Like
Prime,
breaking through the wall.
Don't fire me. But yeah, so Carnival Row, I've watched the first, I think, 3 or 4 episodes now, and it drops on August 30th.
Okay.
And so far, I really like it. It is not what the fuck I expected for the show. I was thinking just some, like, fantasy, sort of like Lord of the Rings type shit.
Well, what is it?
So it's basically a show that it actually goes super. This is why I like the show, because it goes super deep into racism. And I was just like not expecting that, because it's like a show with like the 2 main characters. They're Caucasian, but one of the main characters is like a fairy.
But is this British fantasy? What?
It's British fantasy. Yeah, it's based on like kind of like a steampunk era fantasy, like Victorian era type deal. But it goes deep into racism because, like, in this world, fairies or the fae are like shit on like the whole time. They're like they thought of like the scourge of the earth. They usually like if they live in like human societies, they're like hookers and like servants and shit like that.
Are they regular human size?
They're regular human size, but they're much lighter than humans because they have hollow bones and they have like obviously the fairy wings.
Yeah.
And it's just like the humans in the show are just such fucking assholes. And like watching a show where like fairies are like the ones that are shit on, it's usually like orcs or some shit like that, or you know. But to see it as like fairies, I was like, this is a really interesting take on, on like racism, and they go deep into like classism and shit like that. 'Cause there's like other species in the show as well that some of the humans try to shit on, but they have money, but the fairies don't. So, and there's plenty of fucking fairy fucking in the show. It's gory. Like, when I say gory, there's like intestines and hearts and shit.
Are fairies male and female?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's kind of like the reverse of that movie with Will Smith,
Brightburn. Yeah. It's way different from that. This was like more serious. It's a little more dry, but it's really good. It's with Orlando Bloom and
I
what's the girl's name? I can never pronounce this chick's name. The girl that played the Enchantress.
Oh, the Cara Delevingne, hot chick,
the eyebrows.
Delvane, whatever.
Yeah, she's those two are the main characters
From Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and they have like a really complex history together. So for me right now, it's a watch. I'm not going to give my total review of it because obviously now you have to be kind of fucked up. But so far with the episodes that I've seen, I think 3 or 4 episodes. It's been like really good episodes. So
3 or 4 out of like probably 12.
I think it's 10 or 8, if I remember correctly. I have to go and look.
Okay, August 30th.
But so far, I've been like watching them and like really enjoying it. Like I was watching it with my oldest daughter, and she wanted to watch it. Because
So it's not too graphic.
it is. It's graphic.
Okay.
But I mean, she's 16 now, and then when they're 16, she leaves the room and comes back. So
Got it.
because it's like this is what's cool about it. When what the fuck happened here? Apparently, when fairies bust nuts, they fly in the air.
Oh.
So yeah, when the females bust nuts, they like pick up the partner and just float in the air and bust a fairy nut.
Good shit.
Isn't that what everybody does? That's what I have.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, but yeah,
Especially when you're fucking high. Oh, goddamn.
that is the best. Yeah.
Fucking balls.
Y'all passing notes? What's going on?
No, I didn't have a paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just making sure.
Wait, can we talk about something that got overshadowed by the Spidey news yesterday? Because it's also kind of big news.
What?
Going back to movie stuff. There's a Matrix sequel coming. Matrix 4 got announced the same day as this whole Spider controversy, which everyone flipped out. Everyone like glossed over with Carrie Ann Moss and Keanu Reeves
Hogard coming back.
Okay, hold the fuck on. So it should have been overshadowed for 2 reasons. First of all, Trinity's fucking dead. Second of all, the Wachowskis, since The Matrix, have a fucking terrible track record with making movies. Nobody can overlook this shit.
What are their movies?
The fucking Cloud Atlas.
Yeah,
terrible.
Cloud Atlas was weird.
Holy shit, I hated that movie so bad.
What was it? Juniper? Not Juniper. Jupiter Ascending?
Jupiter Ascending.
Terrible.
With Mila Kunis and, what's his name?
Timberlake?
Yeah,
No,
it's got a
Channing
fucking,
Tatum.
Yeah. And they made a show that wasn't that bad on Netflix. I forget what the fuck it was called.
Was that Sense8? Is that them?
Sense8, that wasn't that bad, but their movies they made have been fucking awful since The Matrix. And if anyone wants to argue that, you can't. They're fucking terrible. Go back and watch Cloud Atlas and tell me if it makes any kind of fucking sense.
Well, I remember that one bombing.
It was
I remember that
awful.
one bombing.
Well,
hard.
the other problem is that not just Trinity died, but fucking Neo died too at the end. At least that's what you presume,
That's
because the
what's
carrier, his
perceived.
body is taken away and shit like that. So
And let's be honest, The Matrix 1 was good, but the other ones, they weren't that great. Especially the third.
Third one was like
Everybody
weird.
hated the third.
I love the third. I just like the fight scene because it looks like something from fucking like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's
Well, go back and watch it now, though. The animation's really bad.
Yeah, I have, and it's
The first one blew everybody's mind. I didn't despise the second one, but it was nowhere near the same caliber of quality.
That's all I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, but
because the first one was like breaking fucking
groundbreaking.
Is
Yeah.
this both the Wachowski sisters? now?
Only one
Lana.
Wachowski sister.
No,
is
they're.
on board.
Well, I was gonna say they're both.
So they go by Lana and Lily now, and so Lana will write and direct while Lily is nowhere near this.
Everybody's skeptical. I'm on board with the skepticism. The Matrix was a long time ago, and it was great, but man,
There's a lot of films that get sequels later on, like fucking Rocky.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot totally about Speed Racer. So,
yeah,
it's another one that
yeah.
wasn't great. So, after The Matrix, okay, they did, Speed Racer, Cloud Atlas, and Jupiter Ascending. Those were all not great movies.
all bombed.
And the ones they wrote for was V for Vendetta, which wasn't that bad. The Invasion, which is rewrites.
The V was pretty good. I'll give props.
But that was just a writer, not a director. Ninja Assassin, that was a producer. And
pretty interesting.
yeah, that's about it.
Well, look at the scores on their movies
Yeah, the
too.
scores were awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this: there was a long gap between Mad Max movies, and that knocked it out of the park.
That's true too.
Well, they-
It also wasn't directed by the same person, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Totally different reboot.
They had like a different they just went with the basics for the Mad Max movie. It was like action, explosion,
And fucking battle music.
yeah, fucking
Stitch, were
bang.
you into the fucking Matrix back in the day? You were looking forward to this?
I watched it like after it sort of chilled out and people were going hyped over it. I enjoy it. I wouldn't say I'm like a fanboy where I'll end up watching the movie, but I didn't get all in depth into it and everything, and not like old Ninja probably does what they or whatever. But I enjoyed the movies for what they were. I'll be interested to see if Keanu is going to star.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's going to be a star. Or
Keanu Reeves is back as well as Carrie-Anne Moss. Jeff Darrow.
Hogarth, say her name right.
Hogarth. thick Hogarth is back.
She definitely does look better thicker. Even though she looked great in The Matrix, but she looked better thicker. Just like Iska Lawrence. Just saying.
It's a bad one.
Yes.
No word about Morpheus, though.
No word, but according to Jeff Darrow, who is the conceptual designer on the film, he says most of the original cast is back.
I'll believe it when I see it. I feel the same way about this one as I feel about like the Terminator. Isn't that dropping later this year?
Oh, hold on.
one, yeah.
So the original director of Mad Max is the director of Mad Max Fury Road,
Oh wow, really?
which was George Miller. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
He directed the Mad Max and Mad Max the Road Warrior and Fury Road.
Good shit.
What's his name is lining up to be the main villain in John Wick 4, right?
Oh.
Neo?
Morpheus.
Oh shit. Really?
Oh, I don't think he's a villain. He's probably helping him out.
What the hell was that?
It's not my phone, it's in my fucking hand.
I thought it was a foghorn walking by. Because I touched the mic and I was like, what the hell?
So did you watch
I didn't see John Wick 3 even.
Oh,
Wait, what?
I know.
I thought at the end of John Wick 4 he was shaping up to be because he didn't get killed, he just got his face cut up, right?
Well, holy shit.
Yeah, he did kind of have that sense that he was going to be the next.
Yeah, and he's supposed
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so okay.
But it wasn't Neo's fault that he got his face slashed up. It was because, well, he did help him. Because he got slashed up for every bullet that he gave him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what their filming timeline is or what or schedule or anything like that. I don't know what Fishburne's availability is, but it seems like he's going to be, I guess, maybe the main villain or one of the key actors. Where in the first couple ones he would just appear for a scene or two, but it seems like he's gonna be a main character in the next John Wick.
God, John Wick.
Holy shit. This guy, the guy who directed Mad Max, he directed every single Mad Max. One solo director.
All right.
Holy shit.
Stitch, were you the one that saw this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, I did as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because this movie's gotten some real controversy. What did y'all think of this shit?
I went in. Okay, I just happened to it was maybe like a Tuesday or something like that, and just seeing on Twitter, it was like, oh yeah, the new Quentin Tarantino movie, and I totally just was oblivious to it and everything. I think I'd heard a new one was coming out, but I was like, you know what? I'm here for Quentin Tarantino.
Sure.
I love his movies. I'm gonna go watch it today. Didn't do any research. Didn't know anything about what it was about at all. I went in completely oblivious to the tie to the Manson murders and everything. So I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
What movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had no idea what was going on, and I would say I didn't know what was going on through the majority of the fucking movie.
Wow.
Except it was just Brad Pitt being Brad Pitt, Leo being. I mean, they were both amazing because they're really good actors.
That doesn't sound good though.
But it takes a twist. I had to go back and research to find out what the fuck was going on.
I don't like shit like that.
Well, I had no idea that this was based on the Manson murders. I just thought it was like
Is that the main plot of the movie?
It ties into it. What's her name's character?
Margot
Robbie.
She's Sharon Tate.
Harley Quinn.
She's Sharon Tate and everything.
Okay.
Which and I obviously wasn't gonna go. I'm like Sharon Tate. I was like, I know that name from some historical thing, but I could not place it while I'm watching the movie. And with all Tarantino movies, you're paying so much attention to the dialogue, you can't really like focus on other shit or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll figure it out later. And then the last 30 minutes, when it goes into Tarantino mode, where shit starts twisting around, there's some violence going on and shit like that. It was fucking great. Now people got all butthurt and pissed off on the Bruce Lee thing. That part was fucking hilarious.
Okay.
I love that shit. That was fucking great because I was like, is this supposed to be Bruce Lee? And I was like, yeah, I think it is, because I was like, it looks like Bruce Lee, but it's kind of not really acted like how I think Bruce Lee is. But Brad Pitt's fucking amazing actor. I mean, he's fucking elite star. He knows what he's doing. I can watch him just read out the fucking phone book. Same thing with Leonardo DiCaprio. And it was great. That whole scene, people kind of know what happens in it.
Sure.
But it was fucking great. But I guess Lee's family was butthurt because it didn't portray him as the nicest person. It portrayed him as kind of being like an arrogant karate dick or whatever. He's like, I don't know if you guys seen the thing, but he's sort of bragging about how, oh yeah, my hands are classified as legal weapons, so if I punch somebody hard enough, I can get charged with a crime or whatever, get charged with murder, because these are classified as legal weapons. And Brad Pitt's just like, you idiot, anyone in America can get charged with manslaughter for punching another person in the face, moron. So it was just funny watching him just like shit on Bruce Lee when he's got like all these people around him like fucking wooing and on or whatever, and then they have a little fight scene which is great.
Somebody asked me that like recently actually, because I do a lot of jiu-jitsu, and they're like, do you have to register yourself as like a deadly weapon? And I was just like, no, like that's so ridiculous. That's like the dumbest fucking thing ever.
It's a movie thing.
Yeah, it's a stupid ass thing. No, you don't.
Yeah. But it was funny. The last Tarantino part is great. But it plays a twist. I mean, he knows probably more about the historical aspect of it than I do.
Yeah, this movie
lived through this time period. I don't know what the fuck we talking about.
Yeah, this movie is basically an ode to filmmaking back in the late 60s, early 70s. If you don't know anything about that, you'll probably be lost. I mean, this is literally like the way movies were back. The movie is about making a movie in the 60s as it follows an actor who is basically about to wash out and he's trying to save his career.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much the whole film. And then they end up inadvertently crossing paths with the Manson family. And if you don't know who they are, you would never get it watching the film. Like Charlie Manson, he's in the film, but no one refers to him directly as, hey, you're Charlie Manson type deal. He literally just shows up and you kind of know who he is. He introduces himself as Charlie, but then you never see him again.
Yeah.
The Manson family, if you knew about the history of them, you knew that they're all kinds of fucking weird. And you know if something's weird in the film, you probably just don't know that there's a Manson family.
It doesn't sound like you see the murders.
No, you.
Okay.
No. When the murders are about to happen,
It takes a Tarantino timeline twist.
Yeah.
Just like in Inglourious Bastards. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
God, I
twist to
fucking
the
hate that
end
movie.
where it's different. Well, I love Inglourious Bastards. It's an amazing film.
yeah, it was horrible. To me.
Oh, it was
liked
fucking
it.
great.
I liked it.
Great
That was
film.
killing Yancy.
Yeah, they were.
I don't like that style of war peace movies.
You don't like killing Nazis?
Yeah, I mean,
No, it was just
American
a
Bastard?
horrible movie to me. I just didn't. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know. I just don't like it.
There was a lot of dialogue.
yeah, I mean, the same with this has probably even more dialogue than that. But I mean, it is interesting watching how they did films in there. There's also this weird part in the film where Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate is watching a film starring the actual Sharon Tate on the screen on a fucking movie screen, which is weird.
For the youngsters and myself, remind me again about Sharon Tate?
So Sharon Tate was an actress who was killed by the Manson family
That's right. Okay.
while she was pregnant, and they pulled out the unborn fetus from her body and left both of them on the floor.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of old school characters or old school actors in the film that are portrayed by current actors like Roman Polanski.
That was another name. I'm like, I know that name somewhere.
He's in the film. Bruce Lee, obviously. There's also, I think, Steve McQueen.
Okay.
Where they have an actor who he has a jacket, they have the Mustang, he looks a lot like him. He doesn't really sound like him. He does his best impression, but if you don't know who he is.
Yeah, Roman Polanski is the guy. Yeah, that's
He fled to France.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know that sounds familiar.
there's characters in the film.
That's why all these names are being dropped. I'm like, I can't put my finger on it or whatever because I didn't go. But it's like Old Ninja said.
Hold on, but let me just rewind for a second. Roman Polanski, he fled the U.S. for raping somebody.
For having sex with a 14-year-old girl.
What should be raping somebody?
They talk about it.
rape.
They talk about that a little bit.
And he's still making fucking movies.
Yeah, in France.
Yeah.
I don't think
They didn't extradite him.
Are they released over here?
So the only one that's released over here that he's in was Rush Hour 3.
That it was in, but I mean, he still made movies that played here, like The Pianist. That was in 2002.
Oh yeah.
And so,
That was up for awards, right?
Yeah, that won
Yeah.
Best Picture, I believe.
That's how you know Hollywood doesn't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. A lot of it's full of a lot of fucking pedophiles and shit like that. And
As
they still released that one.
Jeffrey Epstein.
There's that one movie with what's the guy the actor from American Beauty, Kevin
Spacey.
Yeah, because he had a movie, the Billionaire Boys or something like that. Got released.
yeah.
I mean, it got like $5 or some shit, but Hollywood's still fucking releasing it in theaters.
So well, yeah, but I mean, the studio needs to recoup their money because it was already in the can.
So as the Old Ninja said, Leo is the actor that's becoming sort of washed out.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt is his stuntman, stuntman best friend. He sort of lives with Leo. Leo kind of hires him as his handyman around the house and everything. And
so he fucks his wife or what?
No.
I mean, he does marry.
They happen
badass
to live
Italian wife.
next door to Sharon Tate and everything. So that's how they intertwine at the very, very end and stuff. And Roman Polanski lives next door as well.
Oh,
Polanski is fucking
he's
Sharon
married
Tate.
to Sharon Tate, but
Yeah.
then there's a time lapse where they break up or whatnot because they leave the country.
Oh, is that when he fucks the kid?
They don't show that shit. They just show that Roman's gone.
Because it's Hollywood.
Damn. So it sounds like you kind of both like this.
How the fuck do you leave that part of the movie though? Hold on, I just gotta rewind.
I just
That's
said
pretty fucked up.
because it focuses on Leonardo DiCaprio's character, not on Roman and Sharon.
Well,
There's a
still,
part
if you're gonna have that guy in the film,
he's their neighbor, so he's not like super. There's a part where Leo's character leaves to Italy,
you should have
so
let
let's
that shit
focus
out.
on there.
She should have let that shit out or addressed it.
He was just like, the only really time they kind of interact is like Leo's like, yeah, I live next door to this huge director, but I'm not really.
Oh, I can't be on his film.
Yeah, or whatever. He just knows his stardom level, but they don't really divulge into like his
whole
backstory
life.
or whatever. He just, I'm a B-list actor trying to get my career, whatever. I live next day.
Depending on the time period, because I know he's been in Europe for several decades, so some of this may have taken place even before.
This does take place before because he's married to Sharon Tate in the film. When you first see him, when the main character, which is Leo's character, leaves the country, you don't see what's going on in Hollywood while he's gone.
Still though, if I could not have a pedophile into my film, I would have like not done that. That's me personally.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, the other one that nobody likes to mention anymore is Woody Allen. You talk about.
Oh yeah.
He puts out films. I want to say once
a year. He pulls a film every year.
And
he married his daughter.
Adopted daughter.
Still, it's his daughter.
That'd
be like, I would adopt a daughter. She's my fucking daughter.
Of course.
For somebody to say, oh, just his adopted daughter, you raised that kid as a child.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You're her father, and that's disgusting.
It's the most disturbing thing, and for whatever reason, he hasn't been exiled from the filmmaking community.
She even came out and said like he would do stuff to her when she was underage.
Oh,
like I know they.
Yeah,
was it a book or something she wrote or something?
I mean, we all assumed it.
Maybe Mia Farrow might have said something. I don't know if she did that. No idea.
Plus, his movies ain't making no Spider-Man money anyway.
Well, because they're all shitty movies.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part.
But he has big stars in them, though.
He does.
I remember ScarJo was in one of them.
She's in Match Point, which is actually a very good film because it was nominated.
You supporting these movies too, goddammit?
Hey, a good film's a good film.
I mean, it's terrible.
Elvis Presley was.
You going to R. Kelly concerts too, old ninja?
That was you, not me. You the one who likes pissing on folks.
Did we talk about the Kevin Spacey thing ever? No.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, his
not the latest.
recent shit.
The latest.
Okay.
What's the latest?
What, the charges were dropped or something?
I thought charges were dropped.
Charges got dropped. Case dismissed.
So, how are we supposed to feel?
I'm confused now.
It sounds like his accuser dropped the charge.
His accuser dropped the charges.
Apparently they said his accuser didn't have the evidence to back up all the statements that he was claiming anymore. I think that's what the case.
I just know case dropped. Accuser backed out. Charges dropped. Case dismissed. Kevin Spacey out there swinging dick now.
He was always swinging dick.
Apparently, now he's back to it again.
But I mean, a lot has happened.
Did the victim recant?
It sounds like yes. I mean, we can fact
one of the
check.
victims was the guy on Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. He was also in what's the old movie? The 70s movie that everybody liked to watch when we were in high school.
Oh, Fast Times at Ridgemont? No, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, we go. Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
Dazed and Confused as well.
Yeah. I think he was also in Transformers? Didn't he play the Russian?
Who is the guy? Look him up so we're all on the same page. I literally don't know how to feel. I used to enjoy Kevin Spacey movies.
Yes. But you are also on record on if they're innocent, they're innocent. According to the court, you are all about false accusations and
let's be clear. I am against false accusations, absolutely. I've never said on this specific case that it was false accusations. Did I?
Anthony Rapp is his name.
Okay. I don't recall ever saying that.
And also, didn't he basically say he did it? I mean, he didn't say he didn't do it.
Oh, so
I don't know. That's
So
what I'm
at the
getting-
time, Anthony Rapp was a teenager. Kevin Spacey hit on him. There was no.
No, what
groping
did
or
no,
whatever.
no.
He was at a party.
No, he was at a party.
He was at a party, but he hit on him when he was drunk.
No, apparently he took him up to his room and was like grinding on him.
Now I understand
I think that was the
Kronos'
accuser.
logic about if you say you did something, you did it. However, you have loopholes in that logic, like Swiss cheese,
like Cardi B.
like Cardi B, when she said she did something, but you said don't matter because people be lying
hold on.
anyways.
Let's be clear. Did he confess
Kevin Spacey, yeah.
he confessed,
So with
then
Kevin
would he-
Spacey, he confessed to hitting on an underage boy, and then he came out as gay at that time because nobody knew, and
Yeah, but
then...
hold on. The crime isn't the... Well, I mean, yes, you shouldn't be hitting on. I totally get that. But I thought the more serious crime was possible rape. That's what we're talking about here, right? He confessed to rape?
I'm trying to
No, he did not
He
confess
made
to
a
rape.
sexual advance on Anthony Rapp when he was 14 years old.
Okay, yeah, obviously not okay.
And so then,
not okay.
So then, what, he eventually Rap took it back? Then is that what's going? on?
No.
So-
This is a different accuser.
Oh.
Someone else from a different
it's a
state.
different accuser.
Different
shit.
accuser.
Okay, I didn't know there was more than one.
Yes,
Jesus
there's more than
Christ.
one.
I'm sorry. Okay. But one of them took something back.
Because I thought there was something like a criminal case.
Yes, and
pending on
that was
this.
from someone else. It wasn't from Anthony Rapp.
Jesus Christ. It's not a good look. And again, I'm not defending Kevin Spacey, and I never have.
So this is what I remember. All right, this is what Kevin Spacey said. But if I did behave in the way he describes, talking about Anthony Rapp and him sexually coming on to him, I owe him a sincerest apology for what would have been a deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. That is not saying I didn't do it. So that's when I read that, I was like, he didn't say I didn't do it. He said, oh, I could have been drunk, could have happened. If I did do it, I'm sorry.
Sounds like a Hollywood Coke.
Yeah, and it's not quite a, hey, I fucked up, I'm wrong, I did this, either.
Yeah, and then he said, this story encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know that there are other stories out there about me that have fueled by the fact that I've been so publicly protective of my privacy. I choose not to live as a gay man. So yeah, this is why I'm fairly certain they did, like 99% sure that he did do it. So, because right after that he came out as gay, and he didn't really deny it. He said, oh, well, if I did do it, I was probably drunk. It's just like, dude, what the fuck?
But is this one still potentially going to trial?
No, this is
No, never did.
Okay.
This other one that went to trial, they won't name the accuser, and they're saying like the defense wanted the guy's iPhone and he wouldn't turn it over because a lot of the stuff that he said was deleted.
And he pled the fifth.
It doesn't matter if you fucking give him the fucking
and
iPhone.
at the time,
That
I
doesn't-
guess at the time he was 18, but this guy alleged that he was sexually assaulted while under the influence.
This isn't a good look. It sounds very much like he more than likely did this shit. But
then-
one or both.
But then this guy
that clear enough for you?
recanted,
I'm just
and case got dropped. This guy recanted, case dropped.
I don't think he recanted though. How did he recant?
He doesn't have, like Blue said, not enough evidence.
That's
Yeah,
not-
that's not a recant.
But no,
The thing is, you like say it didn't happen.
He
He
goes
won't share his cell phone. He pleads the fifth, and then he said that he won't give the court his cell phone as proof because he said that he had text information between him and Spacey about what happened,
That's shady.
and he
That is
won't
shady, but it's not recanting.
release it.
Can't the court force you to give up
They
something?
can, but if they can't get
criminal
Not
evidence?
if you're the accuser, no.
Correct.
Ah.
Right.
That's like with
You can use it
homeboy
to-
from
you can use it
Chicago.
to collaborate your claims and everything, and even if you're just like, no, I don't want to give you my phone or something like that, if he were the suspect,
Okay.
they could go and get the phone records because
Well,
everything's fucking
text
kept.
messages work two ways. So it sounds like if there were text messages or pictures being exchanged,
But he would need a warrant
Yeah,
to get it
you're
off.
you're under a false assumption. In America, you're guilty until proven innocent. So if somebody says that I have proof that somebody raped me or did something wrong to me, you have to prove it.
I mean, you said it backwards.
Oh, sorry. Hey, I'm black.
I hear you. I'm just.
Guilty.
It sounds like there's probable suspicion of some sort that maybe.
Well, no, you have to produce evidence. If I accuse you of a crime, I have to produce evidence.
Yes.
I have to.
If you accuse it, yeah, I would speak with him to find out what it was that you're claimed or whatever. Speak with you about it. Can you collaborate what it is that happened? And you're just like,
out.
And if you're just like, no, I don't want whatever, then I
So
can't.
the whole thing gets dropped.
I can't proceed with an investigation if he doesn't want me to because the crime, he's the one that's claiming the crime was committed.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So
It still sounds like there's more than one of these same things going on.
there's three sides to every story, right?
Yeah, no, but it sounds like there's more than one incident with the similar set of circumstances
yeah,
with him,
yeah.
underage boy, some kind of impropriety.
It's
It's
Hollywood.
apparently he was 18.
this person was of
but the
age.
fact that he
If it-
may have
he
gotten
said
him
no.
drunk and took advantage of him,
Yeah, that's
that's
still
different.
wrong.
Yeah, man. It don't sound good. It don't sound good
I
at
think
all.
I'll watch another 2 episodes of House of Cards and maybe decide. time.
I had to. Me and Kim were watching it. Once we heard that happen, we literally stopped watching.
Oh, yeah,
Such is the case.
They actually suspended the show for a while.
Oh
Right?
no, they cut him out.
They killed him. So see, if I was at the point to where they killed him, I'd have kept watching the show. But he's still on the show, like where we're at. So I'm just like,
okay.
Yeah, he's on until the very last season.
Yeah, and they do. I mean,
So there's what, 6 seasons? He's on 5 seasons.
yeah. Literally, they just wrote him out. They're like, yeah, new season. Oh, by the way, her husband was assassinated. He's the fucking president of the United States. You just give it a sense. Yeah, he got murdered.
And then the wife take over.
And the wife's now president.
That's not how it works.
You gotta
but-
explain some shit.
But he was the lead on that show for 5 years.
Oh yeah.
And
He was
we
lead
talked about
and
it because
executive
she
producer.
Wanted, yeah, and she wanted, because we had that discussion about how she wanted equal pay, and
got
we
it.
were all just like, he's the fucking star. This is his fucking show. He's the producer or whatever. Fuck your equal pay shit. And then it
she's still getting equal pay.
No, I thought she did.
No,
She was getting Kevin Spacey, but
well, not for that last season.
no,
I
mean,
think
last season he wasn't
I
getting
think the
checks,
studio gave her equal pay.
no, they shouldn't have.
look that up.
Even though he
Remember her
fucked
name.
up, he's not even just fucked up. Even though he probably definitely a fucking rapist, he still has, like, his body of work still affords him to get paid way more money than her.
Who is she again?
She was from goddamn.
she's,
She was Buttercup in fucking
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. That's her. Role.
She's also.
I mean, come on.
She's also a Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but she's as a minor role. So get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
but man, what's her name? Mom in Wonder Woman?
No, she's the
battle.
She's the aunt. Yeah,
Oh, the
she's the
aunt.
battle
Okay.
teacher.
But you can't demand equal pay when you don't have equal amount of experience.
Oh yeah, no, we
Like,
agree.
what the fuck?
She has definitely equal amount of experience. She,
Crazy.
how are you gonna say that she hasn't been around in Hollywood?
Stop.
She's just not the star.
Do we have to do this again?
The star would be the experience, bro.
Do we have to do this again? So here we go again.
He's a
Old
star.
Ninja. There's a lead actor.
Yes, that's what I
Who's
said.
the
But
star,
well,
top
hold
billing?
on.
Top
You said
billing.
that she didn't have the experience.
She doesn't.
It's not equal, dude. It's not equal.
Pull up her films that she's been in.
You're
Lead.
I see what Old Ninja's trying to do.
He's
I see what Old Ninja's trying to
the
do.
laundry list since the 80s that she's been in.
Yeah.
Minor roles.
Experience doesn't equal quality or whatever. Maybe she's been in fucking 40 movies and Kevin Spacey been in 40 movies. We can't name
the
40
lead?
fucking movies. Exactly. She has not fucking led her own movies, her own projects. She don't have a star in the Walk of Hall of, or the fucking
Kevin
Walk
Spacey
of Fame.
is a household name.
He's a star.
Robin Wright?
He's better than Idris.
He's a fucking household name. What the fuck are you talking about?
I do not know who Robin was.
Jesus Christ.
Stop.
The world don't know, bro.
Okay.
She can literally, she can be in Starbucks.
Let him pull up the movies and whatever show she's been in, and we can compare notes right now.
Oh my God.
We'll compare them right
we
now.
really got
Spacey's a bigger star than Idris. Even after the
he
break.
is.
facts.
He is.
That's facts.
And it's funny to say because now he's a rapist, but he brought in money, like a lot of fucking money.
He's fucking good.
Oh shit. She was Jenny in Forrest Gump.
He was the villain in fucking Seven.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but he's barely in that.
What do you mean he's the
When do you see John? When do you see John Doe? Very, very.
Trolling Old
infrequently.
Ninja
That's
because
the
it's a
most
shitty
goddamn
job.
fucking.
So they're saying so CNN Business in 2017 reported that Kevin Spacey was reportedly being paid $500,000 an episode back in 2014. In 2015, that Wright made an estimate $5.5 million for House of Cards, which comes to approximately $420,000 an episode. So she's a little bit lower than him, but she's.
So what you bitching for?
And
Well, no, this is after the fact. After she wanted more money.
Still less.
But it's still less, but it's like
what it should have been. Listen,
equal field.
nobody was watching House of Cards for her performance. When
she-
came out, they weren't.
she came
was
out-
a good character. Don't get me wrong.
Literally, the show could have basically been called, I haven't seen a single episode, it could have been called the Kevin Spacey political show.
She's good in the show. She is. She's not the main character.
She's a
the
good
main,
actress.
Yes, she's very good in the show. They are a power fucking couple.
So I'm still waiting on Old Ninja to bring up her fucking backlog.
Oh, okay. I was waiting. Y'all kept going.
You tried to fade in the shadows. I see what you did.
I'm sitting right fucking here. Right here.
This ain't your year, Old Ninja.
Oh, no, don't even try to do that. I didn't do no hot takes like you did. I didn't lose any of those bets that you did. I don't backpedal like you do.
Keep researching.
All right,
Researching.
so she was in the. We'll start most recent, I guess.
Don't lead them off.
Go to
we
her
go
oldest.
back.
Go to her oldest hit.
oldest hit was Princess Bride.
Okay, when was that?
That was...
Somewhere like 1987, I think, right?
Somewhere in the 80s.
Somewhere in the 80s.
Come on, it should say there right there. The
Oh,
fucking
87. No, because there's more after that, because she's in TV shows and shit.
All right.
And so was he, in a lot. Okay, I'll an argument.
Yeah, please.
Drop the bomb.
He's been in 53 feature films, 17 television series. He's been in 13 different theater productions and 2 fucking video games.
Okay.
Doesn't he? Wasn't he up for? He's been up for an Oscar.
Yeah.
For, what's it called? The one with the rose petals and shit.
Usual Suspects or
No,
something?
the
Yeah, he did win an Oscar for
Beautiful
Usual.
American Beauty.
American Beauty.
He won an Oscar for Usual Suspects as well.
So he's a 2-time Oscar winner, goddammit? Is that what we're saying here? That you're comparing?
He's elite.
So what has she been in?
Robin Wright?
Yeah, I mean, like, was it 53 fucking films, right?
How many Oscars?
Definitely was not.
How many Oscars?
You killing podcast time with this,
Yeah,
this
man.
loss.
Look, just let it go.
Yeah.
He's on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah,
Is
that's
she?
it.
Fuck no, she's not. And she's listen, this is with all due respect. She is a good actress.
Sure.
Like, legit good. But does not have the same backlog of experience as Kevin fucking
Not on
Spacey.
his level. He's an elite. He's in that top tier.
He's a rapist elite, but
God dang.
I just want to put it in. I don't want to sound like we're singing his fucking praises
No.
because he's definitely a piece of shit
Yeah.
for probably raping a bunch of people. So
I've said all the time. I was like, he was my president, and then I had to fucking recant.
Yeah, you were hyping him up for years.
Yeah, I was.
Get that.
I took that loss, and it sucked.
All right, goddammit. There is an open.
oh Jesus,
What?
look up his awards too. It's
Oh yeah. Look,
Yeah,
has he got an
there's
EGOT or something almost?
The
Damn.
SAG Awards, all everything.
Academy Award, Best Actor, BAFTA, fucking Best Actor, Supporting Actor,
The best child molester.
SAG Award, get the fuck out of here, Best
Yeah,
Villain.
she's got SAG Awards. She has Golden Globes.
Is it all this
Stop.
on the screen
You
right
can't
now?
even. He's got to
Look at
scroll
this.
to get through him.
I'm scrolling. Look, I'm scrolling through this. Look at this.
Oh, Ninja.
Scrolling through this.
You know what? Put out the Twitter poll.
Yeah.
Put out the Twitter poll.
I told you.
Ninja.
I
At
said.
least 18 awards. At least 18.
For acting.
I said in my intro we were gonna have some freezing cold takes. My promise on freezing cold takes.
All right. I gotta switch it up because this is bullshit. Demon Slayer, goddammit, has been epic.
I fucking caught up.
I know Blue is caught up. Finally got to the Spider Family. I know Kronos is caught up. What are y'all thinking right now of Demon fucking Slayer?
Still number one anime show.
I got y'all on that shit. Thank you for finally fucking watching.
Well, I've been watching for years.
I've been watching it for.
Not since day one, but probably like week 2.
I've been watching it since day one.
Yeah, me too. It was good.
Dude, so
I did.
so I'm all caught up with the spider people. These spider people are creepy as fuck. Like, holy shit. Like, these motherfuckers fuck with my head. Like, every time I'm watching, I'm like, I gotta check myself for fucking spiders and shit. Like, all of a sudden my arm will start twitching. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm in Debo's pigeon coop, sweating like a runaway slave.
I love how they switched it up too. How like you thought the badass spider dude was like the big one, and it
the
wasn't.
father?
Yeah, and it definitely was not the father.
Nah, the dad was on fucking all might power and
Like it
shit.
was on Maury Povich. He was not the father.
Yeah.
No. The twist at the end when they explain, like, you know, what's really going on. I'm not sure if did you get to that part
I
where
haven't, but please continue. Go. I'll watch it tonight. Don't
We're
worry.
talking about episode 19.
yeah, with the where you understand where the family comes from.
Or you talking about episode?
I'm not sure which episode. It might have been 20.
Have you seen the butterfly chick?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's funny.
I've been to Butterfly Chick, but like they.
Go.
Shit.
So they break down to how the spider family came to be. Because at first I thought there was just 5 of them, but there's not. Or at least originally there was more than 5. But it's basically the one that's in control is.
He's a badass.
Yeah, he's. It's. Like, I want to say what happened, but I don't want to fucking spoil it because it's fucking badass.
No. We're not gonna spoil it for you, man.
Yeah, man, because it's like on a whole. Like, you think the show is good, and all of a sudden the show's like, hey, hold my beer. And it's like.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. All right.
Yeah, because that fucking butterfly chick is like legit terrifying.
Yes.
So like the other guy that's like the badass dude who's like the best. You think he's like the best demon
Like,
slayer?
think about, like, Ichigo is like the main character, but then all of a sudden you meet,
Tanjiro?
huh?
Tanjiro.
No, from Bleach.
He's not
yeah,
trying to compare it to.
Yeah, and the new guy that comes in, it's like what's his name's brother. That's the head of that family. I can't think of his name. The guy who has like the hair that's down. He has like the 3 streaks in his hair from Bleach. I can't think of his name. He's the one that he goes button guy and his thing drops into the ground. More swords pop up. Yeah, that guy. So this guy shows up and he's like bad fucking ass. Like he basically kills fucking 2 demons, 1 strike each one.
Ooh.
So he only took out his sword twice.
He's one slash man.
Yeah, basically. This fucking dude is fucking badass, and he has similar weapon style as the main guy, but he's like on a whole different fucking level.
Yeah,
Like,
he has an 11th form.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Tanjiro was like, there's an 11th?
That's good shit.
But
Okay.
there's like this butterfly chick who's like, she's fucking terrifying.
yeah.
Okay.
She's like creepy, terrifying.
She basically gives this one demon the choice to like, listen, all right, we're gonna be friends now, but you gotta be honest with me. How many humans have you killed? Like, you gotta be real honest. And she gives a number, and she's like,
He says
are you,
5.
she's like, are you sure? He's like, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the 80s. And she's like, 'cause I saw all these fucking things, I'm pretty sure they're yours.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, listen, you still want to be my friend, like, you're gonna have to pay penance for all the people that you killed. He's like, basically, I'm gonna take out your eyes, I'm gonna basically rip your guts out 80 something times and torture you, and then you'll be fine. We'll be friends then. But you gotta pay the price.
And you got to be accurate.
Yeah, and yeah, she was like real fucked up.
Nice.
And she has a really unique sword and a really unique skill set. She's the only demon slayer that doesn't have to cut off a demon's head to kill them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she has like a crazy.
You probably seen her because she comes and help out Lightning Dude.
Yes, I did. see that.
Yeah. So that's her, but we haven't talked about it yet. But like that scene with I can't think of the character's name, but the guy with the lightning speed. Holy shit! Like the fact that he's basically a fucking coward. Like he's constantly crying and shit like that. But he falls in love with the main guy's sister, and he runs in, try to save her, and he runs into like one of the spider families. And like we get to see his fucking backstory about how he came to be, how his grandfather was a demon slayer, and he was like the best.
Yeah.
And he wanted to pass on his skills to his grandson. And everybody's like, oh, your granddad is wasting his fucking time on you. You're nothing but a fucking weakling, this and that, and this and that. But the granddad's like, look, if you can learn one ability, learn it to the fucking 10,000th degree. Just be the fucking best at that. And the kid took that shit to heart, and you understand why he's a fucking badass. Nice. He has one fucking ability, and he does it very, very fucking well. Which is fucking dope.
I'm glad you fucking caught up, man.
Dude, because I like to binge watch my shows, and like, I'll get to the point where I'll forget that it comes on, and all of a sudden you guys are talking about it, like, shit, I gotta jump back into it. I need to like mark my calendar when shows come on. Well, what's cool with Verve is that it actually at least if you have the app on your phone, it will alert you when a new episode's
Yeah,
available.
I do like that.
That's kind of cool.
Speaking of which, we are going to Crunchyroll Expo. We did not hit up Silicon Valley Comic Con. I will eat some crow. I messed up a lot of it with the follow through with them on the passes. It was just me listed on there. I applied for everybody, but it just didn't work out. Crunchyroll is going to be different. We got our passes already. That's coming the weekend after this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
Hopefully I'll be there on at least Friday. I gotta talk to my mother-in-law.
Okay.
Hopefully Friday, hopefully Saturday as well, but we're coming out.
Oh, yeah.
We're not getting a panel, right? Apparently.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a panel, but we should be hopefully able to do some interviews. We're still working on some of that. And it looks like it's going to be a fucking packed ass show.
Wait, kind of jump back to Demon Slayer. Another cool thing we got to learn about is the character with the pig mask too.
Yeah.
Like we can see, it's almost like with
he's real pretty.
like it was funny because when he took off his mask and the main character was like, "Oh shit, you're a girl." And it's like, when he said that, I was like, wait, that can't be a girl, because he's running around with no fucking shirt on the whole time. Like, he ain't got no titties. But he turns out to be a really, really pretty-ass boy. But it's weird because when he doesn't have his mask on, he's actually he's smaller in size, but when he has his mask on, he seems a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But what's interesting with his character, there's a little bit of a it almost seems like he was raised wild. But he's like he doesn't have social interaction cues or whatever, however it's pronounced or however it works. But like he's learning different like things, and it's almost like with Vegeta, where he was like a murderous warrior, and he became kind of toned down once he met Goku. Where this guy, he's like kind of slowing down. Like there's a scene where he's like running from the guy, and he's like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm a fucking badass." He turns around and starts chasing the monster back the other direction.
All right, I got the names now. All right, Zenitsu was the lightning guy, and Inosuke is the boar's head guy.
Yeah.
That dude's fucking badass though. Like when he chopped off the Spider Dead's arm and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna hit you with one sword and keep beating the other sword with the other fucking sword.
Yeah, the other thing is, I gotta give some props, man. I mean, literally on Toonami, they put Fire Force already on there.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah. And then there was one other fucking Dr. Stone is coming.
Oh,
Even though it's just out.
Yeah, because Dr. Stone, it's good. It's like it's a thinking anime.
Yeah,
and I like it. So
that's the one with the people they turn stone, right? The one you talked about a couple weeks ago.
Are you caught up with that one? Are you guys?
I'm still a little bit behind. I'm like only on 3 or 4. But it seems so far I like it. I'm just amazed that we're getting it already on Toonami. Usually there's like almost a year delay or something.
Oh no, Toonami's really good at as soon as the shows air in Japan, probably like 2 or 3 weeks later it'll air on Toonami, because that's what they did with Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
with, like their season 2, they did that, and it was like, how the fuck are they doing that? But they got the skills and stuff down now where they can make that shit happen.
Gotta give props to Toonami, and hopefully there'll be some big announcements for the fall and winter, the rest of this year, really, with Crunchyroll Expo. I'm looking forward to whatever the fuck they have in store, because they've been knocking it out of the park. Yeah, they've been knocking it out of the park lately. God fucking.
They always knock out of the fucking park.
Yeah, no fucking shit, man.
Actually, this will be my first time going to it at San Jose Convention Center, because I think the first time I went was when it was at the Santa Clara one, and it was like small, but you can tell it was bigger than it needed, or the venue wasn't the right size for their thing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I definitely like the Crunchyroll Expo. We get to see a lot of these have previews and stuff like that. And I think this one is some of the stuff is 24 hours, just like for anime.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
There was a girl who I took a picture of at Crunchyroll. She was the homegirl from Attack on Titans, but then I took a picture at Silicon Valley, at Fanime.
The Bowser chick, right?
Yeah, the Bowser chick. Yeah. I took her picture. Yeah. And she was like, oh yeah, you took my picture at Crunchyroll. I'm like, wait, I did? She's like, yeah, I was sudden. So I was like, damn.
She bad though.
She was thick. She was tiny thick too, like fun size. Like, you know how you get the little, you get the Halloween candy? Like, she was a little fun size.
You know, it's so weird. Like, okay, so I gotta be honest. Like, a lot of the cosplay chicks that you see that are like famous ones, they're like actually really tiny.
Oh yeah, like Gay Bear.
You just can't tell from like pictures. They look like normal size.
It's an angles.
Like tiny.
I think the one that like Ivy Dune Kitty, she's not very small.
No, she's not. No,
she smells like cotton candy.
But like, what was the? God, I forget the girl's name. There's a few cosplays that we take pictures of, but they're really small in stature.
Oh, what's the name was really small? God, the girl with the tattoo that says "Game Over" on her leg.
I was gonna say, I forgot her fucking name though.
Liz. Her name's Liz.
Yeah, Liz Katz. Yeah.
She's tiny. I didn't even know who she was until after I took her picture.
Yeah,
I was like,
she was cool as fuck though.
Yeah. She can't dance though. Oh my god! Every time I see her on Instagram dancing,
New chair,
makes my tits off.
I got it for my birthday. If you
oh yeah.
There you go.
I've got a fucking captain's chair.
My girlfriend came back, got me a new chair for my birthday.
It's like a gaming chair?
Yeah, it's a gaming chair. It's got lumbar support so I can sit up correctly. And
there you go.
Yeah, it's a very nice chair. And actually, it like lays back all the way.
Ooh.
So
tell us about your birthday, man. You had a party? Come on.
My 40th. I turned 40 last weekend. My birthday is August 17th. And so the first thing I did in the morning was I went and did jiu-jitsu every year now. I roll, basically sparring for however many years that I am old, for however many minutes. So this year was 40 minutes straight rolling, and I did a video with commentary this year. The first time I did commentary of me or any kind of jiu-jitsu. So I hope you liked it. If you watch it, it's on our channel. It was pretty cool, like showing like my techniques and like what I'm thinking when I'm rolling and stuff like that.
Really ignorant ass question though. The commentary obviously is done afterwards in the editing. You're not doing commentary while you're rolling.
No,
I was about to say that'd be hard as fuck. Well,
yeah, because I'm telling what I was going to do.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Part of my thing
I'm choking out. How'd you know that? It's like that episode of Family Guy where Peter's narrating his life, and he's talking about Lois walked in and she was not the same woman as she used to be. Oh, I woke up in a daze.
Well, to be honest, like with a white belt, I could definitely commentate while I'm choking them out. But against like higher belts, I can't commentate. Part of my game is deception, so I can't commentate. But yeah, it's after the fact. I recorded it. I sat down and I watched the video, and actually it was K-Mac's idea, because I asked her and my oldest daughter if they wanted to see like how I did on my birthday, and so I'm showing the video. I'm like commentating about it, and my girlfriend was like, "Hey, you should probably do that, and I can make a video on it."
Yeah.
So I did that. I recorded recorded myself sitting down here in this chair and did a commentary video. It ended up hopefully pretty good. If you guys liked it, let me know. If not, then let me know too, because I will not do them ever again. But yeah, my birthday, that's how it started, is I did 40 minutes straight rolling, and then we went to a place called Big Al's. Well, I showered and shit, you know, had
balls and shit.
Had a shower beer, you know, for my fucking birthday, and then went out to a place called Big Al's in Milpitas. You never had a shower beer?
I probably had, not a beer, but I'm pretty sure I had like a drink.
Yeah, do a shower beer. It's like it's the best fucking thing ever. Right. Especially if you were like,
I've been in a hot tub and had a beer.
So go and like bust a nut, take a shower, and have a shower beer, and see how much better you feel. Or you're gonna feel like $1 million fucking bucks.
I like it.
It's the fucking best.
So what would happen if I like smoked weed and then busted a nut and then had a shower fucking beer with the? That's why I just fucking start transitioning into just pure matter or pure energy.
That's a trifecta, man. But yeah, so we went to Big Al's, and it's a place that's new in Milpitas.
Yeah.
And it's a really big place. They have arcade games, a bunch of bowling alleys, a restaurant, and some other shit to do.
Sports bar, big.
Yeah, sports bar, basically. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. I got to see most of you there. I think all of you.
Yeah.
I showed up.
Yeah.
I was late to the game, but I was there.
Yeah. So it was a really fun night. Nothing major happened. We just we had a lot of fun.
I beat old Ninja in Mario Kart.
I never been to that venue though, man. That was a good spot.
It's
brand new, yeah.
So, yeah, brand new.
TVs were nice there. That was the thing that stuck out that my eyes were going to bleed. I was like, they're huge and they're clear.
The one thing they can do is make it old fashioned. Oh my god, the drink I had the guy made was fucking horrible.
Bro, so because I was tired obviously, because I did a bunch of jiu-jitsu early in the day, and so I went to get one of my old favorites, a Red Bull and vodka.
Oh yeah.
But I had to get a sugar Red Bull and vodka, so I went to the bar. I had to wait a little bit to get my drink.
Yeah, the bar's really slow.
Yeah, so then I finally get a bartender, and I'm like, can I get a sugar-free Red Bull and vodka? And he's like, well, what kind of vodka do you want? And I was like, I don't really care. Well, you got Sky? He's like, oh, the Sky is probably not good. And I'm like, probably not good. How is vodka not good? Like, it's fucking vodka. It doesn't go bad. I'm like, all right, fucking whatever. I was like, all right, you got Keller One? He's like, maybe not one either. I'm like, what the fuck?
Is he nutting in these fucking vodka? What the fuck?
Like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, it was like super weird. And he's like, I'm like, Grey Goose? He's like, yeah, Grey Goose is good. I'm like, all right, well, what the fuck? Like, it was like really odd to me.
He's jacking off in there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Like, dude, that was like really weird.
Yeah. Well, like when bottle with his asshole or something.
When I went to go get the old fashioned, like I asked the guy, like, hey, how do you make your old fashioned? He's like, yeah, we usually make it this way, but a lot of people like to have the bitters in there. I'm like, you're supposed to make it with fucking bitters. Like, how the fuck? He's like, yeah, we use this and this. I was like, no, okay, I want it this way, and he made it that way. I was like, this is fucking garbage. It was so fucking sweet.
But the play again, Big ALs, man. That's the spot. You know that's what it is.
Yeah, they actually had a few games that were on free play. If you went to like the back left side bar, like they had the Simpsons on free play. They had the Ninja Turtles.
Pretty cool.
The Ninja Turtles was legit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good game.
I'm gonna have to watch that Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I've not like watched all of them like I used to the '90s Ninja Turtles.
Gotcha.
But it encouraged me to go watch.
It was actually solid. I mean, I like that one, and I even though it was more controversial, I like even the newer one too. I'll watch it with my kids and shit though.
Oh, the one where they're like, isn't Ralph like the leader now?
Yeah, Ralph's the leader, and he's a little. He has a different size.
He's like the largest of them all.
Yeah, but and April's the little black girl. Which I guess I heard that was from the cartoons comics originally. But I have not confirmed that. I don't know. But anyway, it's a Ninja Turtle cartoon. It's fun all the way around, and the game was great. But go ahead, you enjoyed your birthday all the way around?
Yeah, it was good. It's weird, so I gotta be honest with you. I never actually imagined turning 40. Like even when I was 39.
You're a black man.
Yeah. So it's super weird, being 40, having a teenage daughter that's gonna graduate high school next year, and also having like a 2.5-year-old.
Yep.
I'm like actually being pretty close to contempt in life at this point in time. It's like it's super weird. Hopefully I'll make it to hopefully 80. So then it would be like my midlife. But the weird thing for me is that like I had my midlife crisis when I was like 25. 26.
It's a little early, but all right.
Yeah, super early. Yeah, so that's probably one of the main reasons why. But it's been fun. You know, I try to stay healthy now, and life has been pretty good lately.
Good shit.
So yeah.
All right. Do we we haven't done this in a while? Not that I'm trying to rap, but like, do we have any older B than BTIs that we were saving for when all 5 of us were in the fucking studio?
Yes, we were, but
I had one on there.
You had to research it.
Okay. What was?
So it was what
shit for research.
It was what decade had the best music, 80s or 90s, and then give at least 3 songs to back it up.
Yes,
Fucking shit. 80s or 90s?
80s or the 90s. So you have to pick an era and then 3 songs from that era.
I gotta Google some stuff. Just
See,
to make sure.
I feel like we should probably come back to this one maybe next week.
This would be free balling off the dome. But yeah, I mean, my gut is telling me 80s, but
I gotta go with 90s. The first song I looked up was Humpty Dance. That was 1990 on the dots. I was like, oh, it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with 90s. It's hard for me to just say 3, like whatever songs.
there's so many.
But and it's also a little bit biased because I mean it's like where we kind of, I'm sure every generation would be like, oh yeah, this music was better based on what I was going through at the time and what I can relate to. But like I remember like when the Chronic dropped and stuff, and
in early 80s I was a toddler. That's the other thing. You know what I mean? Like I remember a little bit of whatever the fuck my parents were jamming out to, which was mostly
I remember
Wonder.
Michael Jackson, but I gotta go back and erase my fond memories of Michael Jackson.
I mean, I'll be honest with you right now. I mean, listen, most of the 80s music sucked except for metal. And some rap because that's where NWA came up and shit like that. But the vast majority of the music, for me, from my opinion,
I get you,
was pretty shit. Besides metal,
I loved. There was really good R&B in that era for me.
In the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Oh, name 5.
Janet was doing stuff. You had New Edition. You had
New Edition.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Bobby Brown. New Edition.
There was Cool in the Gang back then. The Gap Band.
Smokey Robinson.
Smokey.
Smokey was more older.
Okay, so all that stuff the 90s did better, in my opinion.
Actually, so I would base my assessment like this. So Michael McDonald, he has a song. He was like popping up stuff back then where everyone thought he was black, but he was doing R&B. But he was with the Doobie Brothers. So
he's the one that did the song with Patti LaBelle, right?
Yes, he did.
I swear to God, I thought the guy was black.
His song "I Keep Forgetting" got reused.
It was great.
So that song got reused in the 90s for Warren G and Nate Dogg, and then again currently for a current artist. So something like that's able to transcend several decades means that song was hot and is still continuing to be hot.
No, because the song itself, nobody remembers.
Exactly.
Oh no!
You don't remember? I keep forgetting Michael McDonald because he was huge back then.
Hold on, I fucking do obviously, but the vast majority of people they don't remember that shit.
But
I mean, depending on when you were born, super young kids.
But we remember shit before our era as well.
Some. It all depends on what your parents
Michael
was.
McDonald was pretty much before our era.
He became huge in the 80s.
Yeah, but like you just said,
early 80s.
Yeah. I mean, I was born in the 70s, but like the late 70s, 79, like the latest 70s. All right, but yeah, that shit doesn't resonate.
I gotta go. Yeah.
I mean, if
I'm going 90s.
His song still resonates because people are still using. That's why I'm saying.
What's the name of the song without looking it up?
I keep forgetting. I just said the name of the song. No, that's the name of the song.
A pimp named Slickback.
I mean, that beat is still hot, and people are still using his lyrics from that song in today's work.
Well, they're using the beat, not the
some of them are still using the lyrics in the same song. In fact, yes, I have one.
We're going down the rabbit hole of one song.
Hip hop wise, I mean, I think of like
the current song the artist name is Younger. The song is called Remember. His chorus is the same chorus as the I Keep Remember song, and even a little bit after the same lyrics.
I don't know. But when I think of 80s like hip hop, I think like Run DMC.
Yep.
Obviously, like Walk This Way was a huge fucking song at the time, and it blended the two genres historically.
Well, Walk This Way, I think, like led into the 80s. Sorry, the 90s.
Yeah. So I mean, most of it is like late. That's why I was like, I have to Google to make sure which one it followed in, because right in that whole transition between like 88 through like 94ish, it just seemed like everything was fucking absolutely amazing. And even like said, like LL Cool J was, I guess, the main dude. You had like Rakim and some of that, but that didn't really hit me as well as like Dre, Snoop, that whole Notorious B.I.G., like like Tupac, like all that stuff was like 90s for me. So that's kind of where I give the nod to.
So if people listen to this right now, I can understand if you're like an older person. Let's listen to this, because we're talking about like basically our formative years for most of us. And our formative years is basically the 90s. And so that's what things like had the most influence on us. But I mean, for me, like I listened to a lot of music in the 80s when I was a kid. I mean, I had my tape player, listening to shit, with my Iowa fucking headphones and fucking Sony Walkman and shit like that. But still, the 90s still resonated with me like way more.
It's fine.
But it could be because I was going through puberty at the time.
Yeah.
Every song was telling your story.
Statistically, the music you hear from age 9 or 10 through age 22 to 25, that's usually your favorite music for the rest of your fucking life.
Even like shit, like historically, music-wise, seemed to happen more so in the 90s than in the 80s. Like you had the whole backlash about lyrics with parental advisory.
Well, let me just say this though: you had Two Live Crew in the late '80s, and NWA in the late '80s, and obviously Guns N' Roses doing their thing in the late '80s too. I mean, there was a lot.
When I think,
Prince?
I sort of tie the whole NWA. NWA formed in like what 89ish.
80, I think 87.
Okay, but I normally think of like the whole Rodney King riots is tied to that aspect of the whole fuck the police.
No. NWA had multiple albums long before then.
Yes, they did. I'm just saying, like, when it seemed like they were at the peak of the controversy and when everyone was talking about NWA and all that controversy about all the shit going around with LA at the time, I sort of mentally timestamp it as the 90s. In terms of the Rodney King riots.
Oh, wait, I think you're right. No. So, Fuck the Police came out in like 1988. Wait, hold on. But then the riots happened in 1982.
Yeah, so 4 years later. It's not crazy out of.
Yeah, I'm still slinging on the 80s because there's still there's so much songs that people love so much that they're using it in 90s song and current songs.
The Fuck the Police was from like the Watts riot, right?
No, the Watts riot was from the 60s.
No. What the fuck? There was another riot that was around the same time though.
Oh, wasn't? Oh, no, that was Rodney King.
Because remember, it was like the Koreans had to put their own stores and shit like that.
That was the LA riot.
LA riot, but that wasn't
92.
Yeah, that wasn't Rodney King though.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Because I remember the truck driver being pulled off his truck and beaten and shit.
Reginald Denny.
Yeah.
And Sublime did a great song about that.
Yeah, I'll try to remember. Sorry, it's been a while.
Yeah. Blue, get in here. What was your take?
I'm gonna say the 90s just because it is the era I grew in. The three songs that I was gonna say was One Sweet Day with Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men, Cupid by 112, which is one of my favorite fucking songs.
112 was good though.
They were great.
And 3 would be the one song by Boyz II Men.
End of the Road?
No, was it End of the Road? Yeah, End of the Road, yeah. That song told my life story.
That's hella funny. I mean, 2 big albums, worldwide came out of the 80s. One was Michael Jackson's Thriller, obviously one of the biggest albums of all time, and then also Off the Wall, his first solo album. Those had hits left and right. I mean,
Yeah, Michael Jackson is
There's
icon.
there's no wrong answer. This is all subjective. And
yeah, of course.
You know,
Your take on it.
I'm
you know,
sticking.
if you enjoyed like Madonna and Prince and Michael Jackson and Bon Jovi and George Michael and some of that stuff, then you know.
But they had good songs in the 90s, too.
They did. They kept going.
So this is the reason why I say that the 90s has better music than the 80s is because the 90s gave birth to more new style of music than the 80s did. Right? So alternative was huge.
Ooh, I thought alternative had its roots in the late 80s.
I think it really gained ground in the 90s. Like when you came with like Nirvana,
grunge, the grunge movement.
grunge and shit like that. Even if you go to like
Rage Against the Machine.
yeah, that's like what alternative music came out in the fucking 80s. Like you gotta let me know. I mean, I don't remember any of them.
I thought Nirvana actually formed in the late 80s.
They might
And
have
their
formed, but they
fir-
definitely didn't drop a new album.
I thought they had an album. Hold on,
Not the 80s,
Bleach?
because that was like
Yeah, before.
no, it was the MTV era. Like like legit MTV. Like when what Smells Like Teen Spirit came in the 90s.
Definitely.
And before Nirvana, there was Temple of the Dog,
Yeah.
which they recorded first but released way later.
Yeah. But I mean, look, Guns N' Roses was huge too.
There's
Yeah, they were huge. Aerosmith was huge in the 80s.
B-52s, REM.
Oh,
I
REM was
like
huge in
me
the
some
90s.
REM too.
But like I think gangster rap came like a much better foothold in America
Duran
in the 90s.
Duran.
You know what I mean? Like way more artists with with different messages.
I agree, but I would also say you can't talk about gangster rap without talking about NWA, and they definitely had a
They
foothold.
started it, yeah, for sure. But then they also split off and they made their own. They solidified. They started gangster rap, but they also like perpetuated it through their own means. They propagated it. You know what I mean? And I think like they started it, but the 90s was like all about gangster rap.
Yeah, I mean,
They were the only ones in the 80s. Look at the 90s. There were so many fucking groups and individuals that fucking did that shit, and it became so much more popular. It changed the American culture in the 90s, not in the 80s, in the 90s.
You had
I could see that.
easily two of the top 5 hip hop artists of all time came to prominence in the 90s. They were murdered in the 90s after a civil war between the two coasts. I mean, that played out historically. You have the whole Death Row Records empire that came and fell apart in the 90s. I mean, it's
Just for quick
Bad Boy.
Just for quick clarification, and I'm with you. Just barely, but the first Nirvana album, Bleach, was 89.
But there wasn't a hit though.
I can't remember what was on that album.
Yeah, you look it up because
it's
it definitely
like
was.
lady-
Smells
yeah.
Like Teen Spirit was their first
It was a
hit.
big hit, yeah.
So
Kind of jumping into the chat room, we got a few people responding with their take on it. So Charles Drafter 11 said, late 80s, early 90s, Tony,
Yeah,
LL
that was
Cool J, and
good, yes.
DMX.
Yeah.
Poison, DMX.
hold on, DMX is not late 80s, early 90s.
DMX
He's
is
late 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in the 80s, you had like all the stuff that they keep, like that was super catchy. A lot of
Tribe Called Quest started in the 80s.
Yeah, but like one
Beastie Boys.
the big one, Aha, with Take on Me. They won like best album of the year. Then they broke up the next year, but like their song was everywhere. It was in like a shit ton of 80s movies. John Hughes movies had like big 80s hits in it.
80s gave us Fresh Prince.
90s
Yes.
gave us boy bands too.
Oh shit.
Or was it more 2000s?
I would say that's late 90s.
No.
That's late 90s.
And would you classify like the Jackson 5 as a boy band?
Oh yeah.
Or New Edition.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the 70s.
I guess they give us pop.
Most people think that boy bands are Caucasian boy bands. Most people don't think that, because there was definitely. I mean, Boyz II Men, if you want to be technical, was a boy band.
Yes.
Yep.
great.
New Edition
But-
was a boy band.
But I would not consider them a boy band.
Yeah, I got you.
New Edition was a boy band as well.
Especially when talking about banging underage chicks.
Yeah.
Things underage. I'm just saying.
Don't
That was
forget
disgusting.
Color Me Bad.
Oh yeah.
They were great fucking. Yeah, they were great.
Did you see that meme that came out recently about them? It's like, I remember when Kenny G, Rick James.
Oh, that's another one. See, Rick James was huge in the 80s.
Oh, what's
He
that
brought
guy?
us Tina Marie.
No, see, keep saying huge in the 80s, but MC Hammer outdid him by a lot. He took his own fucking beat and blew the fuck up.
That's true.
People know MC Hammer way more than Ray James. You can ask my daughter right now if you want.
Yeah, but after the Chappelle show with Charlie Murphy, yeah, because how many they were making shirts that said I'm Rick.
Let me see.
There were shirts that were saying I'm Rick James.
It
bitch.
doesn't matter. You can tell. You can ask.
They are not making shirts that say too legit to quit.
Listen. All right. Ask any person below the age of fucking 30 who Rick James is.
But you think they're gonna know Hammer?
Name a hit song. Name a hit song by Rick James.
Fire and Desire.
Super Freak. We can. Any kid younger than below 30, they can't.
Yeah.
MC Hammer, they could probably at least know who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
If you ask somebody under the age of 30 who Rick James is, they'll probably say Dave Chappelle Show. If you ask them what song did he make, they will be like, what? He made music?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, Warrior Fella.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but what Warrior Fella?
So Warrior Fella in the group says 90s. He said You Gotta Be by Desiree. Desiree. Sorry, my bad. Some fucking just reading words.
That's the one that In Living Color tore apart.
Oh yeah, that was the one that I know it's that yeah,
kind of.
There's Keep Your Head Up by Tupac and Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Great. Those are great picks.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
I'm a Metallica fan. So.
Yeah, but didn't Metallica start in the 80s as well?
They did, but they didn't blow up until the Black Album, which was actually, if you're a true Metallica fan, even I'm a true Metallica fan, but I didn't mind the Black Album, but that was like their downfall.
Okay.
Up until, because they didn't have, one of the main things, they didn't have an instrumental song on there, and it wasn't as metal, and that's when they started, I think it's when they didn't cut their hair yet, but the next album they cut their hair, and they got like more kind of corporate.
Oh, Unload.
You literally, twerking music starts in the 90s with Juvenile.
With Song.
Juvenile, back that ass up.
No,
it was Aretha Franklin.
Hold up, time out. Uncle Luke, big booty hoes, let me see you touch the ground.
That is not as universal as Juvenile Back That Ass Up. You can, if you play Juvenile Back That Ass Up at a wedding, everybody is getting out of the
Wait, hold on. Is that a 90s song?
So where he's coming from, you went to HBCU.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you think of it.
Oh yeah.
That was some Miami. That was some Miami bass.
Oh yeah. No, back then they were playing Scrub the Ground and fucking let me see.
I just gotta give credit, regardless of how you feel about it. Luke started the booty shake. Period. Like you didn't see that in hip hop.
That bass music,
bass, thongs, booty shake videos. That was Luke.
Yeah, that was the South for sure.
You played Two Live Crew at your wedding reception.
In the South.
In the South, yeah.
I don't. It's not.
You got married in the
South. He's not as universal as Juvenile. Back that ass up.
That one song. You're right. But
is that even the 90s or that 2000?
Juvenile Back That goes hard. You hear that on radio rotation.
We're going into the same problem I was talking about before. It's the Rick James versus MC Hammer problem.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's a generation thing.
It is a generation. This is a great one, man. Yeah. And we're doing all this all the time.
So the reason why I even brought this question up is because I was at getting my haircut with my barber, and he had asked a question. He's like he had a different conversation with somebody else. He's like, yeah, man, what music genre you think, or which decade you thought had the best music? I'm like, fuck, that's a good ass question. And we literally spent like the whole time he's cutting my hair, we were just listing off fucking songs like back to back to back. Like, oh yeah, like the 90s had this, but the 80s had this. It was a real fucking hard answer. It was hard to answer the question.
You try to have Halloween without hearing Thriller 50,000 times on the hour. I'm just saying.
I'm just actually watching the video was like a mini movie.
So it was a mini movie. It was directed by Steven Spielberg.
When I think of like New York, I think of like Wu-Tang Clan. I think of Nas, Jay-Z. Even if I go down south, I start thinking of Outkast, Scarface,
Ghetto Boys.
If I go Midwest, I start thinking about Nelly. These are all 90 prominent. That's when their shit was just flying off the shelves.
I hear you.
I mean, like I said, we're sort of a creature to where we grew up at.
Yeah, I think that what makes it even like even more of a big catalyst is that in our era, when like what we're thinking of in the 90s, rap music especially became so prominent that they tried to fucking outlaw it. Yeah, forget about Tipper Gore and
Reverend Butts.
Yeah, and all that shit trying to burn these fucking albums and shit like that. You didn't have stuff like that in the 80s and the 70s. Don't get me wrong, in the 80s they tried to ban NWA, but they weren't trying to ban the entire genre.
Right.
They were literally trying to ban all gangster rap and any kind of like curse words in songs and shit.
Well, again, to go back to Uncle Luke and Two Live Crew.
Oh, that started too.
Yeah, in the 80s, don't forget, Two Live Crew was literally banned in the USA, and some of their...
I think I banned in the 90s.
I feel like that was late 80s.
No, that was the 90s, because they came out with this song called Banned in the USA.
I feel like they started like 87, 88.
They might have started, but that's not when the band came in.
See, I remember, so y'all know who the Eurythmics were. When they had Sweet Dreams, but that song got remade by Marilyn Manson. I mean, that song was huge, and that was word for word by Marilyn Manson. Just he made it a rock song instead of that whole electronic.
Band in the USA came out and it was recorded between 1989 and 1990.
Wait, that was by a rap group?
Yeah.
I thought that was by a rock group.
And it dropped in...
Oh, no, it was Born in USA.
It dropped in 1990.
90, okay, all right.
And Do the Bart dropped in 91. Band in the USA was
Oh, Do the Bart Dance. Oh, shit.
No, it's Do the Bart, not the Bart Dance.
Do the Bart?
You're thinking Bartman.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely was not that.
Yeah.
Everybody do the Bart band. Come on, if you can.
It's a great discussion. We never even mentioned Whitney Houston back in the day.
Oh, Houston.
Yeah.
Was there.
Hall & Oates back in the day.
Mariah Carey, when she dropped her foot, god damn. She's doing really good, Mariah Carey. J-Lo. Yeah.
J-Lo. You and your J-Lo debate. That's a good one. All right, let's wrap it on up. We might come back to that one because that's a good enough topic once we've done a little bit more homework. Shits, what you got populating this week?
Doing more baby prep stuff, building bassinets and dressers and all that stuff. So also I'm supposed to go to the range tomorrow and shoot. I haven't gone shooting in a good little bit, so I keep that skill up. So I'm excited to do that.
Good shit.
You got like firearms?
Yeah, firearms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because you used to do archery a lot.
Yeah, I need to get back. I need to get back at it too. I've been fucking around and not.
I got mine somewhere over there somewhere.
Hold into what you got.
Just doing some more Twitch stuff. I keep saying I was going to do some Division stuff, but I put up different games on there. Playing some Gears, getting ready for Gears 5, and then trying to get on some Borderlands before that dropped.
You say like a question.
Yeah, because I was trying to see if I can get it for free, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Other than that, not a whole lot. Just chilling, really.
Cronus, what you got?
So my oldest daughter leaves on Sunday, which is super sad. Apparently one of her friends listens to this podcast is going to graduate with her. So I will see you next year. All right, wherever you are, I'll see you next year. If you want to get a selfie with me or whatever, we'll do a thing. And
hell yeah.
We'll have a chat.
This is not a fucking teenage podcast.
It is not. But
I mean,
he's listening. So.
I mean, it kind of is, but I mean, we just fucking curse and say shit, but
we're super immature. But
exactly.
When we say curse words like fucking shit and pussy.
Yeah, they like they got Discovery Channel, right?
Reviews too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're versatile.
Fucking She-Ra and fucking Teen Titans Go and we might mention a few porn, but he's got Discovery Channel, don't he?
Yeah.
God damn.
Fuck Eminem.
I'm trying to stay alive. I'm 40 and I can feel fucking death knocking on my door.
All downhill.
It's like if you go to a beach at night and you hear the waves coming in. You can't see them, but you hear them. Mm-hmm. You know it's coming. So that's what death is like for me at this point in my life. But it's all good. You know, whatever.
The Reaper coming.
Yeah.
Blue, what you got?
So is it Saturday? Oh, I think it's Saturday. So Saturday is the Sweetness and I's 2nd year anniversary. So we're gonna be celebrating our anniversary. So we're gonna be. So today we had our electrical stuff done to our house, so we're ready to move in. So we're going to try to move in this weekend. But yeah, we plan on having dinner in our house for the first time on Saturday.
That's special.
So yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool. And it's funny because like when we got the keys for the house, I actually carried over the threshold. Like first we went inside the house. I'm like, shit, I should have carried you in. So we went back outside and I picked her up and I carried her in. But yeah, so we're doing that. So we'll be moving. We got some like yard work to do and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, just chilling, getting ready to this whole home life thingy. It's kind of cool.
Congratulations.
I forgot to say, my fucking car broke down.
Oh shit.
Again?
Oh yeah.
Was it the radiator again, or?
Some kind of massive coolant leak. I was at Costco and I came to my car and I was like, there's all this water on the ground, all this water on the ground. don't remember being here. And then I started my car. I was like, 1 minute check. And as soon as I started the car, I was like, cool low. And I was like, fuck. So I got home. There was still water in my car, but after I refilled it, like all the way, and then I got home and there was still coolant coming out, and I was like, shit. So it's just been sitting on the side of the road in front of my house, and I'll have to figure out. Hope it's a fucking hose. If it's not a hose, then I don't know what I'm fucking do. So I gotta sell it or something, scrap it. So that sucks.
Big gaming. We didn't talk about anything gaming related.
From Gamescom.
Well, yeah, maybe we'll touch upon it next week. But Modern Warfare.
I gotta pause you real quick. Stitch, what range are you going to? Somebody's asking in the podcast.
One in San Leandro. Normally I go to the one in Dublin, but there's one in San Leandro.
San Leandro?
Oh, the outdoor one?
Indoor, outdoor.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to meet up with
There's only got to be one in San Leandro.
Yeah, I've never been to that one. Normally we go to shoot at Dublin, but
There's one in Dublin?
yeah, Guns and it's right where 580, 680 meets.
It's got to be the indoor.
Guns Fishing More or
I
something.
know
like that.
3 gun ranges. That's the one that's in Great America, and the one in Milpitas, and then the shotgun range. Target Master.
So we didn't talk about anything with gaming. Modern Warfare is doing an alpha on PS4 exclusively Friday through Sunday. I'm gonna jump on. It's the 2 versus 2 part, and it looks fucking interesting. The game drops later on in October, and I'm fucking down for it. And then I keep going back to this fucking new clip on Death Stranding. This motherfucker, fucking the dude from Walking Dead, Norman Reedus, he's pissing in the wind. And I was like, God damn it, Kojima, you're a weird motherfucker, but I'm gonna buy your game.
And you can't see his dick.
Nope, you cannot.
I guess you wanted to.
Yeah, they tried. They tried. So that's what's up.
They show a bunch of fucking dicks and boys.
The boys.
Yeah, the boys had some
Yeah,
dicks.
yeah.
Sure.
That's some titties.
They showed dicks in Carnival Row as well.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Skeet skate.
All right, we're Black and Black times Infinity. Check us out on the internet as at BTHANBTI, BTHANBTI. Check out our newly revamped website at bitheadproductions.com.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
/BTI. Check us out on Radio Republic, Player FM, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. Go in there, rate us, give us 5 stars. On Facebook, we're Black and Black times Infinity, and on YouTube, we're Black and Black times Infinity.
Genius of science.
There you go.
Man, at last, has succeeded in penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure shit. Just saying.
That was the first non-cold take you said today.
Oh, shout out to Gion, who we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. Glad to talk about that.
Who's your friend that we ran into at the one I talked to about Spider-Man with?
That's a random guy.
Random. That was random.
Random.
I thought
Random.
I knew
We'll
you.
talk about it afterwards.
Brandon? Oh, okay.
Come on, we'll talk about it afterwards.